umasenso, manap ng trabaho, o di kaya'y subukang magnegosyo. Lumikha ng produkto't sikaping lumago, inspirasyon mong pagkapiko. Katuwang ng gobyerno sa iyong tagumpay, iisa ang ating hangarin. Pag may abilidad at oportunidad, tiyak na ang lahat ay uunlad. Trabaho, negosyo, kabuhayan, kaya natin yan.
Walang iwanan.
Go lang ng go mga kaibigan. Trabaho, negosyo, kabuhayan, kaya natin yan.
Sulong Pilipinas.
Go, 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 kababayan. Kaya natin yan. Kaya natin yan. Kayaw magtipid sa iyong mga pangarap, sige-sige sa pagsisikap. Asenso'y sigurado sa hinaharap, manalig lang palagi sa sarili. Trabaho, negosyo, kabuhayan, kaya natin yan.
Walang iwanan.
Go lang ng go mga kaibigan. Trabaho, negosyo, kabuhayan, kaya natin yan.
Sulong Pilipinas.
Go, 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 kababayan. Kaya natin yan. Kaya natin yan. Kaya natin yan. Nais umasenso, humanap ng trabaho o di kaya'y subukang magnegosyo. Lumikha ng produkto at sikaping lumago, inspirasyon mong pagkapiko. Katuwang ng gobyerno sa iyong tagumpay, iisa ang ating hangarin. Pag may abilidad at oportunidad, tiyak na ang lahat ay uunlad. Trabaho, negosyo, kabuhayan, kaya natin yan.
Walang iwanan.
Go lang ng go mga kaibigan. Trabaho, negosyo, kabuhayan, kaya natin yan.
Sulong Pilipinas.
Go, 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 kababayan. Kaya natin yan. Kaya natin yan. Kayaw magtipid sa iyong mga pangarap. Sige-sige sa pagsisikap. Asenso'y sigurado sa hinaharap. Manalig lang palagi sa sarili. Trabaho, negosyo, kabuhayan, kaya natin yan.
Walang iwanan.
Go lang ng go mga kaibigan. Trabaho, negosyo, kabuhayan, kaya natin yan.
Sulong Pilipinas.
Go, 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 kababayan. Kaya natin yan. Kaya natin yan.
Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Carlo Rivera, representative ng THAMS International Business School. THAMS, together with PTTC, are the learning partners of DTI in this project. On behalf of the organizers, I'd like to welcome all of you to Control Plus Biz Reboot Now with this masterclass entitled An Introduction to Your Enablers. Itong Control Plus Biz Reboot Now ay bahagi ng mga proyekto ng DTI na tutulong sa transformation ng mga micro, small at medium enterprises sa pagnenegosyo na gamit ng e-commerce technologies. Ang programang ito ay may kasamang assistance tulad ng access sa e-commerce platforms at enablers, loans, discounts galing sa delivery platforms, at libreng training at webinars. In the spirit of bayanihan, our enabling partners across the entire e-commerce ecosystem will provide their expertise and experiences on how to take advantage of the digital space. Before we start our session, may I first introduce to you Jerry Clavecillas, Director of the DTI Bureau of SME Development, who will give the opening remarks. Director?
Magandang umaga po sa ating mga kababayan both here sa Philippines at saka sa abroad po. Alam po natin, ang dami po natin mga viewers na based din po sa overseas. So tayo po ngayon ay nagagalak na tuloy-tuloy po ang ating pag-conduct po nitong ating online session. The day 3 na po tayo ngayon nitong ating Control Biz Reboot Now. Under this pandemic ngayon kung saan po ang lahat ng bansa halos ay naka-lockdown po. Ang daming mga anxieties, mga agam-agam po ng ating micro, small and medium enterprises kung sila ba'y makakabalik pa sa kanilang mga dating negosyo. Ngayon po itong ating ginawang effort po nitong ating Department of Trade and Industry together with our private sector partners, we are informing you ngayon ano ang mga bagay po, ano ang mga possibilities that each one of us can have or adopt once we are going back to the usual operation po natin bilang mga enterprises. So tayo po ngayon ay nagagalak na nagkaroon po ng sakatuparan itong ating initiative po ng ating mga kababayan na ngayon po ay nasa kanilang mga tahanan ay mayroong oras upang tayo po ay ma-inform at the same time makapacitate po ang ating mga sariling kakayanan upang tayo po ay muling manumbalik sa pagnenegosyo, maybe under a different business model. So at this point, I would also like to thank all companies or our partners who made this event possible. Nandyan po yung ating TAMS International Business School, ang Philippine Trade Training Center bilang ating leading partners. Nandyan din po ang Wonderman Thompson as the agency partner for providing us with the visuals and our publication materials. And of course, our enabling partners who have been committed and very supportive of this undertaking. So I will mention all of them in alphabetical order. First, we have Food Panda, GCash, Google, Grab Express, and Grab Food. We have Lalamove, Lazada, Leadmore, PayMaya, QuadX PayLink, and QuadX GoGo Express, Shopee, Singapore Institute of Materials Management, Union Bank, and lastly and finally, Zalora. So magandang umaga sa lahat po. Ihanda po natin ang ating mga gadgets ngayon at antayin po natin ang mga sessions na i-conduct sa atin po ng ating mga experts, ating mga partners na nandito po sa atin ngayon. Ngayong umaga kasama po natin. So again, I wish everyone a very fruitful session this morning. Thank you very much po.
Maraming salamat, Director Jerry. And now, it's my pleasure to introduce our first speaker, the head of Google Client Services, PH, with his talk on Google My Business 101. Ladies and gentlemen, Samuel Jean Blanc.
Thank you very much, Carlo. Thank you for the warm introduction. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for dialing in so early in the morning. And I think you did well because this should be a very interesting session for everyone. Before I start, I would just like to quickly introduce myself. My name is Samuel Jean Blanc. I'm from France, as you can guess from my accent. I do speak a bit of Tagalog, so feel free to ask questions in Tagalog as well in the Q&A in the chat. And I have my colleague Eve with me right now that can also help answer those questions. I've been in the Philippines for 3.5 years. I lead some of our business operations for Google, and I'm a Filipino at heart. I've traveled all around the country on my own, and also thanks to our partnership with DTI, I've been to places like Baguio, Siargao, Santiago Isabela, Tuguegarao, Tacloban. My latest trip before this whole pandemic was actually in Batanes, which I completely fell in love with, and I hope I can go back to very soon. And I think part of the reason why I love the Philippines so much is definitely the people, and it's also, of course, the country. I think you have a wonderful country, and at the heart of the country is, of course, the small businesses. So it's our very pleasure today to be presenting to you all how Google can help you with free tools to put your business online. I'm just doing a quick check if everybody can see my slide. Carlo, if you don't mind telling me if you could see my full screen right now.
It's coming in perfectly, Sam.
Okay, great. Just let me know when it's up, and then I'll just go through the different slides. So just a reminder, there is a Q&A in this Zoom chat, so feel free to pose your questions there, and then we'll do our best to answer most of them at the end of this session. This is also a deck that we will present, but we will also share it with you after the presentation. So there are plenty of links. You'll see plenty of call to action to click on links and sign up. And of course, you can't do it on Zoom, but once you'll get the deck, you'll be able to access all those links. Carlo, are we up now with the presentation?
Yep, Sam, you can go ahead.
All right, fantastic. So, oh yes, a quick picture of myself. This picture was taken during one of our PTTC DTI training in Tuguegarao 2 years ago. And it was one of my most memorable business trip in the country. We flew all the way to Tuguegarao from Manila. We spent 2 days in this wonderful city. We got plenty of interaction with small businesses. As you can see, a lot of those businesses are actually run by women, which I thought was a great sign. And we spent a whole day training them on how to get online with Google My Business. So the training that those ladies accessed, well, ladies and men, but those business owners accessed, we're bringing the same training to you today, so that you can all get online for free on Google and Google Maps. So today we'll answer 3 questions. The first one is, how can Google My Business help you right now, given the pandemic, given that most businesses are closed and consumers are shifting online? The second thing we'll answer is how to prepare for the rebound. So once ECQ is lifted, how can you get ready for that? And then finally, of course, what will happen afterwards? What kind of activities can you start doing once the ECQ is lifted, right? So respond to the current situation, prepare for the rebound, and of course, be there once the rebound happens. Again, any questions you have on this topic, feel free to ask them in the Q&A. So first part, how to respond currently to the ECQ and the COVID situation. Now, at Google, we have a fantastic free tool for small businesses called Google My Business. Google My Business is a free listing that allows any business across the globe to get their business showing up on Google Maps and showing up on Google Search as well. Now, as you know, Google Maps is a platform that is widely used, not only by Filipinos, but by people across the globe. And then, of course, Google Search is a leading search engine in the country. And so for free, you can get your listing up there at the top of those results and get free traffic to your listing, and then free traffic, of course, to your store once your listing is up. And of course, please don't worry. This is 100% free. You will never be charged for putting up that listing. So go ahead and dive in. There will never be a charge for you for setting this up. Now, of course, to do this, you do need a Google account, right? So a free Google account, you would need probably to set up a Gmail address. If you don't have one, I think most people might have one, but if you don't, then you can quickly go to accounts.google.com/signup, the link that you see on the bottom left, and then you can sign up and create an account for yourself. All right, and then the other tip, of course, that we're giving you is to download the app. Most people across the Philippines are using their phones as their primary way to interact with the digital world. So just go to the App Store or the Play Store and then look for Google My Business and then download the app. The app is very easy to use. Of course, it's 100% free, and it allows you, of course, to have probably more insights than if you use just the website of Google My Business. So we strongly encourage you to download the app. So how does this whole thing work? Well, it's actually very simple. And if there's only one takeaway for you today, is I hope that by the end of this session, you would have created a listing for your business, because it takes just, it's a matter of minutes. It's 100% free. It's very easy to do. It's very user-friendly. And so, you know, we really would like all of the businesses that have dialed in today to have a Google My Business account by the end of this session. Now, as you can see, it's a very simple flow. The first thing, of course, you need to enter is the name of your business. Takes a few seconds. Then you have to specify if you want to sign up a business that has a physical presence, like a sari-sari store or a physical location, or is it a services business? Let's say you are a freelancer at home, or you have a startup that has no physical presence. You can also sign up with Google My Business, but you just won't add a physical location, physical PIN. And then finally, the fourth step is, of course, to just key in your address. So again, if you are working from home, just key in the address of your home. If you do have a physical store, just simply put in the address of your physical location. Now here, it's really important because as you'll be listed on Google Maps, you want to have the exact address where you actually stay. So make sure that you key in the address with, of course, the right spelling, the right capital letters, that it's nicely written, so that first you can be pinned at the right location, and then as you'll see, we will send you a postcard with a verification code. And so we need to make sure that you're keying the correct address here. And then as you'll see, once you key in your address, you will be seeing this small map here where Google will tell you, okay, this is the address that you've keyed in. Is that the right location? And it's true. I've seen this in, Tuguegarao or Tacloban, because those places have, barangay that are not always completely mapped. You just want to make sure that the pin, the red pin you see on the screen right there on the left, is at the correct location. And then finally, you have two last steps. You see, it's just a 7-step process. It's very, very easy. you have to put in the business category of your store. So are you a sari-sari? Are you a bakery? Are you selling buko pies? You just have to key this here. And then finally, if you want to, if you're comfortable, you can share your phone number, because this will allow customers to call you from your listing. And then you can share a website if you have one. If you don't have one, don't worry. We'll see in a few minutes how you can have one for free straight from Google My Business. Right? And then at the end, you will have a verification kind of page that tells you all the things that Google My Business allows you to do. And then you just click finish on the bottom right, and then you'll be set for a Google My Business profile, right? So as you can see, 7 very simple steps. And so again, if there's just one thing that I hope you step out with today is a free Google My Business listing. You're going to be listed for free on Google Maps and on Google Search. If you have questions about this flow, just feel free to ask them in the Q&A. And of course, we'll make sure to answer those questions at the end. All right, finally, the last step, because we work for a big platform that Google Maps is, we want to make sure that we're only showing businesses that are verified. And by verified, we mean we want to make sure that the address that you've keyed in is the right one, so that we don't send users to the wrong locations. And so what we'll do is we'll send you a postcard that usually arrives in 5 working days, and it's going to be delivered to your address. And in there, you will have a verification code that you just have to key in into your Google My Business account that will verify your listing. We have verified that you can receive mail at that address, so that you have indeed this location, and then you'll be able to be verified. Now, we're working right now with DTI to try to simplify the process for small businesses in the Philippines. And so hopefully, very, very soon, you'll be able actually not even to request for a postcard, but to work with your local DTI office to get your business verified without receiving the postcard. So keep in mind, verified listings are 5 times more likely to get business from Google. So 5 times more likely to show up and get traffic. So make sure you do verify your business. Otherwise, your business will always show up as unverified. And so users won't be certain if they can actually go to your address and find your business. So make sure that you really verify your business. It improves greatly the amount of business for free that you'll get from Google. As you can see, there are links in each of those slides. And when you get the deck, you will be able to click on them and land directly on the pages that we're mentioning in those different slides. So now we've talked about how to respond today. What specific actions can you take because of COVID once you've set up your Google My Business profile? Where there are plenty of things you can do. And of course, now that COVID is upon us, we've actually launched a lot of new features that you can leverage given the situation. So the first thing you can do, of course, is update your opening hours. Some businesses are completely closed, and we'll show you how to do that later on. But some businesses are still open and are able to, be open for people that want to take out, or people, if you're a essential business, you can still have your business, your location open, so you can update your opening times, of course, given COVID. So make sure you do so that people don't show up at your address and realize that you're either closed or that you're temporary not open because your business hours have changed, right? So make sure you update your business hours, and you can do this on the Google My Business page. The second thing you can do, given COVID, this is a special feature we've launched because of the pandemic, is that you can indicate that you are temporarily closed. So your business will be opened up as soon as ECQ is lifted, but you're temporarily closed because of the COVID situation. And you can just mark it, as you can see on the right side here, you can mark it as temporarily closed. So you're not going to be always closed, but given the situation, you have to shut down your store for a few months, right? So you can just indicate that you're temporarily closed. And once you will reopen up, you can change that from temporary closed to open, and then your listing will show as open on Google Maps and Google Search. All right. The other thing that you can do, of course, is if you're still open, to keep people informed of what you're able to give them. And we have launched this new attributes feature that allows you to say, hey, I'm a restaurant, for example. And even though people cannot go and sit at my restaurant, I do delivery, or I do takeout, or I do both, right? And so you're able to mark some attributes and say, hey, I can deliver. If you give me a call, I can deliver. Or if you give me a call, I can prepare some food for takeout, or you can even show up and get some meals to take out. So you can indicate, as you can see, what are the different attributes of your business. And you can see on the right side here that this is how it will look like on your listing, right? So this is a listing for Wexton Hill Cafe. And as you can see down there, it's written, well, you cannot dine in, but you can take out and you can get delivery given the COVID situation. If you are, let's say, a sari-sari store, or if you are a retail store, you can also indicate what services you're able to offer your customer. Maybe you do delivery. Maybe you can deliver from your store to the user. Maybe people can do in-store pickup. So they give you a call, they say, you know, I want to buy some tocino and some eggs. You prepare them in a basket, and then once they show up, they will just pick it up. This is what we call in-store pickup. So you can indicate all of those features inside your business listing as well. And this on the right side is how it will show up on your Google My Business listing. Finally, you can create a post that indicates to users what they can expect from you given the COVID-19 situation, right? So you can write a post just like you would write a Facebook post or a Instagram post. You can simply write a post there and indicate, oh, we're open for business, or, oh, unfortunately we're closed, but our thoughts are with you and your families. You can definitely write this. So just like you would update a post on Facebook or Instagram, you can do the exact same thing right there. So the ability on Google My Business to also put posts, and as you can see on the right side here, it will appear underneath your listing, so people can just keep getting updates from you. All right. So finally, there's a lot of things that you will see on the back end as well that we encourage you to check. You will see things like the number of people that are looking for your business, the number of people that have left you reviews, or that have left you comments, or that have posted pictures of your business. So make sure you connect regularly to the back end. And we on the Google My Business team will make sure that we send you updates from the interface. And then we'll answer them at the end of the session. Okay, so second part, we're halfway through. Second part, how can you...
Sam, we lost your audio for about 20, 30 seconds. Like the last 20 to 30 seconds that you said, we lost that audio.
Understood. All right, I will just start back from this slide. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, fantastic. Yeah, so I was just sharing the last slide, which is make sure you connect to the Google My Business app on a regular basis, because we will send updates to you and update you about the latest news and features straight from the Google My Business app. So make sure that you connect there regularly to keep up to date with the latest news and features. So we're now done for the first part. As I was saying, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the Q&A box, and we'll make sure to answer them at the end of the session. All right. The next part, we are halfway through. The next part is how can you prepare for the rebound? We know that things are eventually going to open back up. We cannot say that the new world will be the same as the world before COVID, but we should prepare for that rebound. Business is going to open back up eventually, and so we want to be there for our customers when it does. And there are many things you can do. The first thing you can do is, of course, make sure that your Google My Business account has the proper managers. And by managers, we mean, of course, you want to be, as the business owner, the main owner of the Google My Business page, but you can also add some collaborators or colleagues, so that it's not, the work doesn't only rely on you, but you can also have your partner or your colleague or your employees to help you manage the listing with you. And so if you go to the settings of the Google My Business app or website, you'll be able to manage users. As you can see there on the center screenshot, there's a button that says Manage Users. And if you click there, you will be able to add different people. You can add the owner. If you're not the owner yourself, you can add the owner. You can add managers. You can add local managers as well. Let's say you are a retail store and you have multiple stores. You can add a retail or a site manager for each of those stores. So make sure that you include as many people in your Google My Business page profile, so that many people can manage the profile together, and so that you wouldn't be alone posting all those photos and posts and updates, but different people inside your team can do so with you. Of course, as we said, make sure that you add as much information to prepare for the rebound as possible. Now that we have probably more time on our hands and more times to do things that we've postponed for a long time, make sure that you update your listing with as much information as possible. And a Google My Business listing is very, very rich. You can add your opening hours, you can add a phone number, you can add a description, you can add plenty of photos, you can add a website. So just make sure that your Google My Business listing has as much information as possible. Just like people wouldn't really trust a Facebook page with just a few likes and no updates, you want to make sure your Google My Business page has as much information as possible. And as you can see on the left side, we are showing you numbers that explains how adding different topics and features to your Google My Business account will increase the amount of business you can expect from Google just because you're putting more information out there. So all of this is free. All of this takes probably just a few minutes. So make sure that you update your listing with as much information as possible. The second thing you can do to prepare for the rebound is, of course, to create yourself a free website. Now, we know that creating a website is sometimes, a bit frustrating or scary. None of us are engineers, or none of us are software developers. So we know that many businesses in the Philippines, they're afraid to create a website because they don't really know how it works and they're afraid of the workload. Now, fear no more. With Google My Business, with just 2 clicks, you can create a free website. Again, all of this is free. It will never be a paid service. And you just click on create a website on your Google My Business profile, and Google My Business will extract all the information from Google My Business and create a free website that you can use afterwards. So as you can see there, this is the website creator. It's a 2-click process. You basically select the style of your website, and then you publish the website, and you will have your own URL and website ready to share with your customers. This feature, the website feature on Google My Business, is getting a lot more attention at the moment. So you can probably expect in the near future more and more features, like putting your products, being able to reach out directly to your customer through your website. So this is a free tool that we really encourage you to use, especially now that you're preparing for the rebound of the economy. The second thing, the third thing, sorry. So the first thing, remember, is to make sure all the information is there. The second thing is that you can create a website. The third thing is make sure that you communicate with posts. And I'm sure you do this all the time with your own other listings, like Facebook. And so here it works exactly the same way. You can put updates and posts regularly on Google My Business, and this will keep users informed of what you're doing and how your business is doing at the same time. So see on the right side, this is the flow to create a post or an update. It works exactly the same way as any social media platform. So very easy to do. What type of posts can you put? You can put updates. You're launching a new service, or you're ready to get to reopen. You can put an update. You can post a product. Oh, I just got in some new, a new buko pie type, or a new type of clothes that I just brought in. You can just put it as a product update, and people will see that you have a new product in store. You can also put up an offer. Let's say you have a discount on a specific product, or it's Valentine's Day and there's a special offer on the roses for your loved one. Then you can definitely put it as an offer. And then finally, you can also post an event. Let's say you're hosting a wine tasting or a store opening or any kind of event. You can put it on Google My Business and people will be updated about it. So just again, like you would do on other social media platform, you can update and send those updates on Google My Business as well. All right, another very critical part, of course, is the reviews. So as soon as you have a Google My Business profile updated, people will be able to leave you reviews. Now, reviews are very powerful. Users will trust businesses that have a lot of reviews, especially, of course, if those reviews are very high. So make sure that you encourage your customers, make sure that you encourage your loyal customers to put reviews and updates regularly on your profile page so that other people will know what to expect and other people will be reassured that they can be using your store and going to your store, right? So make sure that you are open for reviews and that you reply to reviews as well. So you can read them from the Google My Business app and you can reply to them as well and say, oh, thank you so much for the review, Brian. We really appreciate it. Hope to see you hope to see you in the store soon. So make sure you read and respond to every review you get on your Google My Business page. How to respond to a negative review or a review that's not 5-star? Well, the first thing is not to panic. Negative review is actually an opportunity to get feedback and to improve your service. So don't treat it as a negative thing. Don't answer aggressively. Just read it, evaluate the situation, understand if the review is legitimate or not, and then, of course, respond as quickly as possible. You don't want to have an unhappy customer out there putting all those reviews. Make sure you answer with a lot of empathy, and of course that you tell that customer that you're going to take action to answer his negative review, right? So rectifying the situation is very important. How to get more reviews? Where it's very, very simple. You should send your profile to as many friends and family as possible so that people can leave you reviews. And when someone comes into your store, make sure you ask them to leave a review on Google My Business so that you would have as many reviews as possible. If you want to see examples of review, just go to Google Maps and type in, Bukopai in your area, and you will see plenty of businesses, and you will see that some of them have stars and reviews. And this is what a review looks like. And of course, reviews are very powerful because they reassure users that you are a proper business they can do business with. Right. Of course, you would like your satisfied customers to share more than your unsatisfied customers. So every time you know someone is happy with your service, make sure, again, you ask them to go to Google My Business and leave a quick review so that it will benefit your business as well. Right, so here on the right side, you can see this is for Team Ho One, and you can see the reviews they have, the stars, and in the parentheses there, you have the number of comments that they've gotten. So if I'm a user, I land on this page, I'm going to click there, and of course, I'm going to read if people were happy with those updates or not. All right. Another thing you can do, and as you can see, there are so many cool features on Google My Business, so I really encourage you to try them all out and have a listing. You can also message directly your customers straight from Google My Business. So if you link your phone number, you can actually chat with them and send, if they, for example, want to know if you're open, they can send you a text and you can reply straight from the Google My Business app. So this will not cost you.
Sam, we lost your audio again. 10, 20 seconds.
Indicate on Google My Business what you're selling, the price of what you're selling, picture of that product, and then people will know what they can expect, and they can even get more information straight from the Google My Business listing without calling you or going to your store. They can already know what you're selling, what is the price, and this will, of course, increase your sales. If you are a restaurant, you can do the same thing, but for your menu. So you can upload your menu, upload pictures of what you're selling inside your restaurant, and people will know what to expect when they come up. If you are not a restaurant and not a retail store, but you are in the services industry, you can do the exact same thing for services. You can list down all of the services that you're able to offer. So as you can see on the right side here, if you're a plumber, for example, you can list down all the things that you're able to do. You know, declog a toilet bowl, supplying water closet flush system, replacing a shower set. You can list down all your services if you are in the services industry. So there's basically features for every single type of business out there. If you are a restaurant, or if you are a hotel, or if you are, let's say, a beauty or fitness club, you can also get bookings from Google My Business. So you can upload all of your different time slots, and people can book straight from Google My Business. So let's say you're offering a spinning class, or you're offering a fitness class tomorrow at 9 a.m. You can upload it there, and people can schedule and book your service straight from Google My Business as well. Again, all of this is free, so there's no reason for you not to use it. Okay. Finally, and as you can see, that's a lot of different tips. Finally, you can get people to follow you. So just like people can like your page on Facebook, or follow you on Instagram, or subscribe on YouTube, people can also follow you on Google My Business. And so every time you post a new offer or a new post, people will get an update and will be able to know what you're up to. All right, all of this, all of the results of all these features that you can put into place, you will get inside the Insights section of your Google My Business page. So if you go to the Google My Business app and go to Insights, you'll be able to see how many times you appeared on Google, how many people clicked on your listing, how many different people interacted or left you reviews. So it's a really great Insights page where you can get plenty of information and data on how customers are interacting with your listing. All right, so this was the second part, and then we'll finally say a few words on the rebound. But before I do that, I'll just do a quick time check. All right, we do have a few minutes left and we'll be perfectly on time. So quick reminder, if you have any questions about everything that we shared so far, feel free to add a question in the Q&A box, and then we'll answer questions at the end of this session in a few minutes.
For those with existing Google My Business accounts and you need help, especially given the current COVID-19 situation, please send an email to dtireboot@google.com. So that's dtireboot@google.com. Send an email and I'll try to see what we can do to help you out with your existing Google My Business concerns. So that includes the people in the chat who are having problems with their current Google My Business listing. Thank you.
Thank you, Eve. Salamat. dtireboot@google.com. If you have any issues, not maybe any random question, but if you have specific issues, feel free to email dtireboot@google.com. All right, last part, how to rebound once we get back to normal. A few ideas and slides on how to use Google My Business to rebound. The first one is, of course, once ECQ is lifted and once we're gradually outside of lockdown, you want to make sure that you reopen your location if it has been closed and that you update your opening hours, right? So put this as an action item. As soon as you see the lockdown being lifted, make sure that you're updating all of that information. Otherwise, people will think that your business is still temporarily closed. The second thing you must do, of course, is put up a post, right? And say, hey, we're reopening, we're back in business. Please come and visit our store. We have those amazing products, those amazing services we can offer to you. So make sure you add in a post about the fact that you're reopening. Another recommendation is, of course, to try to get activity back to normal. So try to create an event. Of course, it has to be responsible. You have to follow all the guidelines. You have to make sure that people can social distance inside your store. But you can also create an event to recreate the buzz, recreate the habit of people getting into your store with all the safety measures in place, but making sure that you're bringing foot traffic back into your location. And then, you would probably want to create some kind of an offer, some kind of an incentive for people to come back to your store and buy your specific product, right? So make sure you update your listing with the new hours. Make sure you create a post about it, maybe to create an event to bring people back into your store, and that with that event or without that event, that there is an offer So an incentive for people to re-interact with your business as well. And then finally, you want to make sure that you're leveraging all the insight that we've talked about so that you have an idea of how people are behaving after the crisis. And the great things about data and digital is that all of this is real time. So as soon as you reopen your business, you'll be able to see is there a spike in the number of searches for my business on Google? Is there a spike in the number of directions? So people on Google Maps asking for directions to my business? Is there an increase in calls? So you'll be able to understand how users are behaving after the crisis, and this will be very valuable. For example, if you see that a lot of people are calling versus coming into your store, then maybe now is a good time to increase the bandwidth of your phone number. Make sure that there's always someone at the end of the line to answer questions from users. Or maybe actually people are getting back to normal and there's going to be a huge spike in directions. So make sure that your business is open for longer hours because people are going to want to reconsume after ACQ is lifted. All right, so these were the 5 tips for the rebound. So again, today we've seen 3 different parts. The first part, of course, is you should create a Google My Business page and how to do so. Sorry, actually 4 different parts. The first part was how to create Google My Business. The second part was how to update your listing with COVID-19 information. The third one was how to prepare for rebound, how to make sure that your listing is as complete and clean as possible. And then finally, we've just seen 5 tips on what to do once rebound is there, once ECQ and lockdowns are lifted. So I'll just leave you with a quick checklist. Of course, you'll get that checklist in the deck, so no need to take note. But basically, these are all the recommendations that we've been through today. If you have only one thing to do after the session, is this one simple thing at the start of this first bucket, which is to create a Google My Business account and verify it. If you already do this, you will have gone a long way. It's a 100% free tool. We have plenty of stories of Filipino companies that have created Google My Business and have seen an increase in sales, all for free. So I really encourage you to take those steps. This is a great way to help your small or medium business today for free. And it's a great way to get a first step, if you're not there yet, onto the digital ecosystem and the digital world. So with that, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to us today. We do have time for questions, so it's a great news. We'll take a few from the Q&A. And as you heard from Eve, you can email dtireboot@google.com if you have specific troubleshooting questions that we can help you with. All right, fantastic. So let's see, Q&A. Eve, I will need your help on some of those for sure, but let's see what we have here. Let's take them in order.
Sam, there's a question regarding if you already have social media pages, why do you need Google My Business?
Thank you. Very good question. One that we actually hear a lot. You have to think of these as complementary, right? There's not one platform that you should have and another one that you shouldn't. You should have both for many reasons, right? People do spend time on social, and so we strongly, of course, encourage you to have a page on social media. But the usage of Google in the Philippines is extremely high. If you look at the usage of Google Maps, is also very high. So you don't want to cut yourself from that free business that Google Search and Google Maps can bring you, especially in a platform like Google Maps. People are looking for directions. People are looking for locations. And so that if you have a business in Tuguegarao, it's not someone from Davao who is going to like your page. If they're using Google Maps, they're probably around your business, and you want to make sure you capture that foot traffic. So again, it's not one or the other. It should be both together. And we have very, very clear signals that if you have a Google My Business listing, it will lead to business results. People will reach out. You'll have more foot traffic. So you should definitely have both. There's clearly no questions there, especially because it's free. I mean, if these were paid solutions, I could understand that there would be a cost associated with it. But in this specific situation, all of this is free. You should definitely have both. And you should definitely use those tools, social media and Google My Business, to the best of their abilities. All right, I'm going to take another question from the Dory. Can I deactivate the review options? Now, to my understanding, this is currently not possible. Why? Because Google My Business is also a way to suggest to the users which are the best businesses they can go to. And so reviews are a way for the algorithm for Google to recommend to users the best business they can go to. Let's say they're in a location in Makati and they want to buy a buko pie, and there are 25 businesses that can sell them buko pie around. Well, Google will have to recommend one of those. And so we will trust the reviews to indicate which one most probably has the best buko pie. However, it doesn't mean that you cannot do anything about reviews. If we really encourage you to promote your best customers to review you so that you have great reviews versus letting those reviews out there in the wild, and most probably you may get angry customers that will leave reviews. So make sure you encourage your most loyal and most happy customers to constantly leave you reviews so that you have a fair idea of the situation. All right, I will take another question. Great question, by the way. All of those questions are fantastic. Thank you so much. Can you get your own domain, example, farhabu.com, for the free Google website, or is there a fee? This is a great question. The domain you will have to buy on your own. Google is not selling any domain. So if you do own a Google domain already, listing it and linking it to your Google My Business website is 100% free. By the way, Google My Business is always free. There's never a paid option in there, but you will have to buy the domain to another provider and then link it to your Google My Business page. And this is 100% free, and you can definitely do it. So yes, it is possible. Thank you so much, Farah, for asking the question. Really, really good one. All right, Maya is asking, I registered my plant nursery last November 2019. I never received a postcard. Great questions, one that we hear a lot. I can guarantee you in our backend, all of the postcards are actually posted. So we do send a postcard every time you request for one. Whether it arrives or not, unfortunately, because we're not a postal service, it is always a bit trickier. There could be many reasons why it doesn't arrive. It can be that the postal service cannot find your address. It can be that the postcard is lost somehow. But I can guarantee you Google do send the postcard. Whether it arrives or not is not always in our control. So if you didn't get it, well, there are two things you can do. One is request for another one. The other one is, as we said, we're working with DTI right now because they're a great partner on how to get them to verify businesses in the near future. So hopefully soon you'll be able to work with DTI. Again, not available right now, but we're working together on this. All right. Let me go to Elaine's question. How do you control legitimate products sold through Google My Business? Example are foods and beverage. Who is liable in the event these stuff sold are not FDA licensed? Very good question. Google is unfortunately not liable for the products that you post. The understanding, and you'll see them in the terms and condition, is that if you post a product and you're selling it and there's a price to it, that you have all the necessary paperwork with DTI and with the different organizations of the Philippines government to have the accreditation to sell them. So it is your responsibility as the business owner to make sure that what you post and what you sell, you have the necessary authorizations for those. So we are not responsible for this. You are the one responsible. So again, don't post anything that you don't have licenses for. Make sure that you only post products that you can actually sell. Thank you, Ellen, for the great question. All right, Robamin, I think we've answered this one. If we already have a Facebook page, can we still do Google My Business account? Absolutely, and you should. There's no question there. You should use all the different free tools available. Facebook is a good one. Google My Business, in my case, in my view, is absolutely necessary. It's free. It takes a few minutes to set up, so please do try to do it. Thank you very much, Robamin, for the question. We have a time for a few more, so let me take a few other questions. Kat, how can we optimize the searching of our business? Great question again. If you remember the second part that I've highlighted, how can you prepare for the rebound? There were 10 tips in there on how you can update your listing and put more information out there. Now, the great news is, the more information you put in there, the more Google will recommend your business higher in the listing. This is what we call search engine optimization, or in this case, Google My Business optimization. You want to make sure that you're putting as much information, and Google will always recommend to users listings that have the most information available, because users, first and foremost, they come to Google for information. So once you get the deck, look at the 10 different things that you should do to prepare for the rebound, and make sure you have all of them updated, right? So create regular posts, put your business hours, put your phone number, put your products. The more information you have out there, the more Google will be able to recommend your listing up there. So thanks, Kat, for the great question. The best way to optimize for searching of our business is to put and update as much information as possible. All right, Richard is asking, is there any boosting service Google can offer? Absolutely, absolutely there is. Once you have a Google My Business page, you can definitely use Google Ads in conjunction with Google My Business. It's a very simple process as well. I believe the URL is ads.google.com. And from there, you create an account, you select your website or your Google My Business profile you want to boost, and then you can put in a budget and get more clicks and traffic from that boosting, right? So boosting on Google search means that your listing will, of course, pop up to the top of the list. And it's based on an auction mechanism. So if multiple people are asking that their listing will be brought up, then it will be up to who has the best listing once again. So thanks, Richard, for the great question. Yes, you can. And you can go to ads.google.com to be able to start boosting your profile. Okay, is it possible, Bernadette? Hello, Bernadette. Is it possible to sync the Facebook account with the Google My Business account? Really good question. Unfortunately, Bernadette, the answer is no. It is not possible to do that for now. So, you will have to create something from scratch. However, I'm sure that you have plenty of information already available because you have a Facebook page. Let's say posts, right? If you already are posting on Facebook, you can just use the same image and probably a similar text on Google My Business, right? So if you're already doing something on social and Facebook, it should be very easy to create the exact same thing on Google My Business, and vice versa, by the way. So really good question. Thank you, Det. It is not possible today, but if you're doing both, it's also, of course, a synergy. Robamin, thank you, Robamin, for the question. You are asking, what if we both do restaurant, bakery, and we also do services like event, catering services? How am I going to do it? Still want Google My Business account? Thank you. It's a great question. Now, there are two options here. If you have two different names to your business, let's say you have one name for your bakery and one name for your catering system, then we would highly encourage you, of course, to have two different listings so that people can really differentiate the two services. If you only have one name, then you will have to have one Google My Business account, and then through the posts and through the list of services, make sure that you're updating that information. You can actually do both, right? You can update a list of service and add also products and cakes that you're selling, for instance. So it's not one or the other. But I do believe that for users, it could be better if, Eve, I think there's a bit of noise from your mic. Yes. It could be better if you have two different services available, and so two different listings. I think this would make it clearer for consumers. Thank you for the question, Robin. All right, Man, is it possible to make selling like eShop on Google My Business where there is also a payment process? Really good question. The answer, Man, is today there is none. Google My Business is a showcasing listing. However, we may look at opportunities to do so in the future. We don't know. With COVID, there's of course a lot of asks from small businesses, and we're of course considering multiple options. If you're looking for a way to sell, there are so many services out there. Shopify is one. Shopify is a great tool. It creates a website for you, and you can go into e-commerce very easily. So to your question, Man, not today, not available today. There are other services like Shopify you can use, but maybe in the future we'll launch a feature like this. Edita, thank you, Edita, for the question. Please send me a copy of the slides. All right, we'll try our best to make sure that everybody gets a copy of the slide. Thank you very much, Edita, for asking. Faith is asking, can we still set up a website even if we don't buy a domain? The answer here, Faith, is very simple. It's yes. Of course you can. If you create a website with Google My Business, we will automatically create a free domain for you. So it will be the name of your business.site. So you will have a domain and you will have a URL just for you that will be created with Google My Business. So why not do it? I mean, all of this is freely available for you. Maria, thank you, Faith, for the question. Maria, thank you for the question too. Hi, how does Google manage comments from trolls in the business profile? Really good question. The answer is if there is a comment that you don't agree with and it's a troll and you believe it's a troll, you can report it. There's a little flag, same one that you have on the YouTube platform, for instance, and you can flag it, and then we will have our reviewers check the comment. And if we believe it's a troll or a fake one, then we will take it down and most probably also take action on the account of that user, right? So do feel free to flag the comments. Of course, we cannot let business owners manage and remove comments, because otherwise, of course, they would take out all the negative ones. But we have a fair process. You can flag those comments and get Google to review them. All right, I'll just take two last questions and then we are done. Nicole Cordero is asking, we have alternative way to verify a property aside from postcard. Nicole, this is a great question. It's one that we're getting a lot. Right now, it's mainly postcard. However, we're trying to find new ways to do so. We're definitely working with DTI, which is a great partner of ours. We're looking into call verification as well. So we're looking to diversify the ways we can verify businesses. Right now, however, it is mostly postcard because it's really the most reliable way we can do that verification today. And I'll take a last question from Joji. Joji Tew. Thank you, Joji, for the question. Is there a chance that Google will ever stop Google My Business in the future? Joji, I'm not a divine, I'm not a future reader. However, I can tell you Google is very committed to Google My Business, very committed to Google Maps, of course, very committed to Google Search. I don't think there is any way Google My Business is going to go away for a very, very long time. Just by the sheer fact that we have a responsibility towards businesses like yours that are investing time into Google My Business. So no, I don't see in the near future any chance that Google My Business will go away. So yeah, please do invest time and energy into it. It will reap great benefits. With that, I believe there was no question in Tagalog, so I got very, very lucky. But I will say maraming salamat to everyone who dialed in today. Thank you so much for all your great questions and your time. I hope it was helpful. As we said, we're here to help you in those tough times. We're all in this together. I think Google more, and just like many other companies out there, really wants to help small businesses, but specifically small businesses of the Philippines. I'm personally very passionate about making sure that the ecosystem will still thrive given the COVID situation. And I'm very much dedicated to this initiative. So thank you everyone for dialing in. If you liked it, make sure you share the live stream with your friends. If you know any other business owners that may benefit, please do share it across. And also thank you, of course, to DTI for setting this up. I think this is a fantastic initiative. All right.
Maraming salamat, Sam.
Am I done, or will you give me another hour? Because the list of questions is just endless. So I could go on for another day, it seems.
All right. Well, thanks, Sam. But we have another speaker. So maraming salamat.
So unfortunate. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much, Carlo, for allowing us this time to speak.
Très bien. C'est magnifique. And for our next talk, we have Jackie Marcelo, Head of Business Development for Zalora. Assisting her is Brand Acquisition Manager PayMaya Santillan, who will be assisting with the Q&A. Ladies and gentlemen, Zalora.
Hi, everyone. Hope you and your families are safe and healthy at the moment. So I'll be doing the quick presentation, and then Jackie will be helping me out with the Q&A later on. So you have your Q&A chat box over here below. So let me share my screen. Okay, so our agenda for today would be who we are, what we do, or how we do it, and how to join us, and the next steps. So Zalora would be one of the pioneers that launched way back 2012 here in the Philippines, and we are present in Southeast Asia. So we are in Indonesia, Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia, Brunei, Taiwan, and Hong Kong. But we have sister companies in Australia and New Zealand, which is the Iconic. And we have the Fiji in Brazil, Argentina, Colombia, and Chile, and La Moda in Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, and Belarus. So all of us are parenting to Global Fashion Group, which is actually headquartered in London. So last 2017, I don't know if you heard about this, Ayala acquired 49% of the shares. So now we have two parents, Global Fashion Group and Ayala. So of course, Ayala is one of the biggest conglomerates locally. So it's very beneficial for Zalora because we have pop-up stores in some of the Ayala malls. But in these pop-up stores, you can actually fit the products, but you can't like really purchase it offline. So this is more of like an initiative to teach how the Filipinos to purchase online. So we have like iPads, cell phones, and then you can actually purchase online, and we still deliver the products to your shipping address. So, and of course, some synergy play with the rest of the group. So, just some stats for you for Zalora Philippines. I want to highlight in this slide the 10 million unique visits monthly, the 7 million app downloads, simply because 90% of our orders are actually coming from the app already. The 8 million social media followers, because we're very proud to say that this is actually organically grown since 2012. So our customer demographics would be 62% female, 38% male. But also if you look into female orders, there's also men items. And we're expecting female to grow a little bit because of we recently launched our kids category and our essential products. Majority of the age group would be millennials. So, and next would be ages 18 to 24. 45% of the orders would be coming within Metro Manila, and the rest is scattered outside Metro Manila. So just to add, the number one payment method for us is still cash on delivery, especially for provincial orders. It's at 72%, and our credit card within Metro Manila is at 20%. So what customers say about us, just to highlight a few, I highly recommend the Zalora shopping app to all my friends, relatives, colleagues because of the fast transaction. All items are legit and original. That is why I really love to use this shopping app. Easy return policy, good selection of brands. Of course, these feedback help us improve the business and customer experience. So we provide excellent customer experience. So for the operation side, sourcing, we have our deep commitment to make sure that everything in the website is authentic, considering social and environmental responsibility, of course. E-production, so we have our in-house production team. They are in charge of photography, retouching, and content. So this is something that we offer to the brands as well. Fulfillment and delivery. So our partner is courier partner caters nationwide 95%. So for the remaining 5%, we have another courier. So for returns, we have a 30-day return policy. So we wanted to be more flexible when it comes to returns because admittedly it's still a different iba pa din yung like, nafe-feel and nafe-fit yung products. So that's why it's a 30-day return policy. Payment, we offer cash on delivery, debit card, credit card, PayPal, and GCash. And we recently launched GrabPay. So for the support naman, we have our in-house customer service team. They will handle your brand's concerns na. So maybe pag may order tracking or maybe material inquiry. So that's less one headache for you. We will handle all of their concerns now. Tech and innovation. So we are present at the app, website, mobile web. Of course, you can shop anytime, anywhere. there, and your reach will be nationwide. We have a digital magazine called Thread. It's at the bottom part of the website also. We have in-house experts for search engine optimization, retargeting, and affiliate. So to summarize, if someone types in your brand in Google, should be Zalora on top, except if you have your own website. Yeah. So we work with 2,000 fashion brands. So of course we have the big international ones, Nike, Adidas, but we also have the big local ones like Sila Bench, Sila Pen Shop. But we also get Instagram sellers, independent sellers to help small businesses grow by selling in our platform and also to connect to the community. We also do collaborations such as Wear Chris, so that's Chris Aquino's exclusive line for Zalora, and the Edit Naman by the So because of the new normal, we actually expanded their categories to consumer goods. So these are the new onboarded brands under essentials. And we're actively looking also for these products. So we expanded our categories to over-the-counter medicines or drugs, food products, and personal care and toiletries because of the COVID situation. So the main objective would be to help Filipinos shop safely. And we are also expanding to general merchandise, such as electronics, home and living, maternity, and kids. So,
Hi, Pami. Hi, Pami.
yeah. Yes.
Sorry, we are
Hi,
receiving.
Carl.
Hi. We are receiving feedback that your audio is not coming in not that clear. So if
Okay.
Small request, if you can speak louder and
Okay.
lower.
Should I go back, like a few slides back, or should I just
You can proceed.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can you hear me now? Yeah.
That's better. That's a lot better.
Okay. Thanks. Okay, so how it works. So this is actually the marketplace or dropshipment business model. So what is the selling process? Seller owns the product and sells it in Zalora. So just to clarify, for marketplace or dropshipment, Zalora will not buy the products from the supplier. So we will be giving you an account called Seller Center. It's a back-end system that you can actually use to manage your products. So you will manage your images, your description, your inventory. So basically, it's like maintaining your own website via Seller Center. So you or the supplier seller uploads products on Zalora via the Seller Center. And then seller uploads product information, pricing, and images. So you have full control with your pricing as well. And then seller prepares and packs the order, print shipping labels. So if the order comes in via Seller Center, you will be notified also via Seller Center, of course. And then you will do the picking and the packing. And then printing the shipping labels. So you just have to click ready to ship once the order is actually ready. So courier or rider picks up from seller's location and deliver it to the end customer. Okay, so why sell in Zalora? So Zalora will provide customer service. So this is one less headache for you. You have a dedicated account manager. So for any concerns or issues that will arise, you can contact them directly. They also do business review. So just in case after like a month or two of launching, you can request for a brand review. So you would know your customer base and all of the information like the best SKUs. There. And also you have an access to an active and highly engaged and loyal customer base. So what is Seller Center? So this is a backend system that you use for marketplace or dropshipment. So this Seller Center also has open APIs available for those suppliers that has warehouse system or replenishment system that they wish to use. We have APIs available. You have full control in your inventory. There's real-time sales and order data. So yeah. So next steps for us, our onboarding process would be send us an email. Hold on. So can I just submit the emails to you, Carl, where they can like reach out to us?
Sure.
Okay, thanks. And then from there, we'll submit the requirements, seller center account creation. You'll do the onboarding where we're going to teach you like how to upload your products, your inventory, of course, the contract phase, and then the packages. So basically everything. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I'm passing on it on to Jackie for the Q&A.
Hi. Hi. So I understand there are a lot of questions. But before we start, good morning from everyone. On behalf of Zalora Philippines, thank you very much for inviting us. I saw a couple of questions a while ago. One got lost. But anyway, merong tanong doon for provincial suppliers if we're open to partner. The answer is definitely. We are open to partner because we do deliver nationwide and then we do have hubs all over the country. There are a couple of questions here. Kasi currently, Zalora Philippines, we are the number one online fashion destination. So that would mean apparel, damit, sapatos, accessories, beauty products, and other lifestyle goods. However, given the COVID situation, we are expanding our portfolio. So ibig sabihin, we are carrying more items, more product lines. So meron na kaming food, other essentials, and we are planning to carry home and living. That is pretty broad. So meron yan kitchen items, merong board games, what have you. We have mommy and kids there. A couple of more questions. Just to clarify, Zalora is a drop shipping platform. Okay, so we don't just work via drop shipment, but we do encourage our suppliers to go for this option, especially for the provincial ones, because basically there are two ways of working with us. We do have consignment. So ang ibig sabihin nito, you just deliver to our warehouse and then we do everything for you. Another option is drop shipment or di kaya marketplace. So ang ibig sabihin nito, yung stocks nasa supplier or nasa brand partner. So every time an order comes in, manonotify kayo via seller center. So ang gagawin nyo lang, ipipick, ipapack, ipiprint nyo yung shipping labels, and then our rider, our partner courier is Entrego, will go to your pickup point or warehouse, tapos kami na yung bahala mag-deliver kay customer. Another question here. Will Zalora assist us when we go on board? Definitely yes. Whether it's consignment or drop shipment, we will definitely assist you. And not only that, you will have a dedicated account manager for it. How does Zalora earn from the supplier and who coordinates deliveries to the customers? On the commission, we can definitely talk about it because it also depends on the product line that you are planning to bring in with us. Tapos, ang coordination and delivery to the supplier, to the customer rather, kami na yon. We actually have a dedicated customer service. They answer inquiries, they answer questions, they do email, they do chat, and they do mobile and live phone calls. Ang question dito, are you open for medical devices? Yes, we are, especially during this COVID situation. Please do send us an email. I know Pammy flashed it on the screen a while ago. Definitely, we are interested. How to create account in Zalora. Okay. So basically, para mag-create kayo ng account sa amin, definitely you will have to email us, send us your price listing or product catalog, and then we will discuss your different options, how to go on board. And then, pag nag-agree na tayo sa commission, and then we onboard you, and then we will create the account for you, and then from there, tuloy-tuloy na kayo. Okay, meron ditong question about the capacity of our riders. So basically, for us, the capacity of each rider is 20 kilos. Unfortunately, we cannot deliver yung mga sobrang laking items, but send us an email. We are open naman to discuss. Baka naman magawa ng paraan. Pakita niya lang sa amin. Our email address would be jackie.marcelo@ph.zalora.com and pauline.santillan@zalora.com. Pami, my colleague, will type in our email addresses para makita nyo later. Itong question, do you deliver frozen products? Okay. We are open to carry frozen products. However, in terms of delivery, that will have to be through the supplier. Free listing po ba? Okay. What is your timeline to approve the application? Normally, it does take us about a week to 2 weeks, depending on the supplier also, because normally we would have requirements. So actually, basta kompleto naman yung requirements, actually in less than a week kaya na namin on board. There. How much is the actual budget? I'm interested to open a distributor warehouse in a certain area. Can we get clarity there, Alejandro Dahak? Ang ibig mo bang sabihin yung commission? Kasi yung sa amin naman, we don't necessarily pick up from the warehouse. We do pick up from a designated place. Just let us know. It's not necessarily a warehouse. Another question, does Zalora cater to electronics, gadget parts, and accessories? Yes, we do. Not everything, of course. It's pretty broad. So please send us an email. Give us the exact specs, price listing, product descriptions para masabi namin kung pwede or hindi. Do you accept rice products? Yes, we do. Of course, there is a weight limit, but we are definitely interested for that. Send us an email. Do you have affiliates in other countries? Na-present ni Pami, we do have other websites. So in Europe and also in Australia and other Southeast Asia markets. And that is called Zalora also. Is there a minimum inventory required? The beauty with dropshipment or marketplace, dahil nasa inyo yung stocks, wala kaming nire-require na inventory. Kasi ang kagandahan din kay Zalora, basta i-update nyo lang yung inventory nyo doon. Tapos, pag na-order na siya, automatically nawawala siya sa website. So, wala kayong magiging problema na out of stock dapat kasi kayo naman yung nag-update ng inventory. Can we sell to another country? At the moment, what we can do is connect you with our colleagues in other Zalora markets. So, okay lang yun. How does Zalora manage returns? I see this becoming an issue for other platforms. Okay, so the way we do returns, basically, okay, in Zalora kasi, when you talk about fashion, yan, yung mga damit, sapatos, accessories, these are considered returnable. So we do accept a 30-day return policy from the delivery date. And then, ang gagawin namin, kukunin namin yung goods sa customer or di kaya, pwede naman siya i-drop off sa partner couriers namin, pwede din sa LBC. And then, bago siya ibalik kay supplier, ang kagandahan sa amin, it will have to go through a QC process. So, ang ibig sabihin nito sa warehouse namin kasi meron kaming dedicated team para mag-quality control. So, hindi lang ito sa paglabas ng mga products from the warehouse. Syempre, in returns, we also have to be fair to our suppliers na pag nag-return si customer, of good quality pa din siya. Will it be possible to sell to other countries through the Philippine website? Not yet, but what we can do is to connect you with our colleagues in other Zalora markets. Do you accept products with patent for household LPG gas and for motor vehicles? Please send us an email. Broadly speaking, we are okay to carry home products, but let us know because we do have some restrictions. Padala nyo lang po sa amin yung product listing. Do you accept organic products like organic soap, virgin coconut oil? Definitely. And pick up items in Quezon Province, yes. We are okay to pick up from the Quezon Province and definitely okay kaming mag-carry ng soap, beauty products. So pag pinag-uusapan namin ng beauty products, this will include cosmetics, yung makeup, personal care. So ibig sabihin sabon, body wash, shampoo, conditioner, other beauty products, pwede din yung mga hair tools, yung mga plancha sa buhok, ganyan, pwede yan. Lotion, skincare, so pwede din yung mga moisturizers, facial wash, pwede nating i-carry yan. Does Zalora require a business to be registered with DTI? Yes, we do require businesses to be registered at DTI or SEC. Is it possible for perishable products to avail of Zalora service? Let us know what kind of perishable. If you're talking about parang grocery items, dry goods, definitely pwede nating i-carry yan. But let us know, send us an email and then mapag-uusapan natin yan. But offhand, we are okay. Syempre, kailangan natin pag-usapan yung shelf life. Kasi syempre, yung customers natin, nagtatanong din yan. And when they receive the products, syempre gusto nila yung products fresh pa. Any other questions? Wait, let me just look through. Baka I missed something. Are you only accepting branded items or do we accept startup businesses? Of course, we do both. For as long as you're registered with DTI or SEC, you have the proper documentation, we are okay to carry your goods, not just the branded ones. Let me see. Are there any other questions? Okay. May nagtanong dito kung free listing po ba. Actually, the website, your own brand page is free, but of course, pwede natin mapag-usapan yung commission. We do have a commission structure in place. Do you carry eco bags like tote bags? Yes, we do carry, and that would fall under accessories, ready-to-eat snacks. Ano ba yung requirements? We can email you the complete list, but definitely your FDA will be a topmost priority. Health supplements. Yes, kailangan din namin po ng health supplements, especially now during the COVID situation. You will need to submit us FDA requirements as well as other business documentation. Just email us po. Do you carry products from Cagayan Valley? Please let us know in particular, ano po ba yun? We are open to carry products naman from other provinces. In your home and I see no furniture. For home and living, ang furniture actually, we are open to carry basta wag lang masyadong bulky o masyadong malaki because as mentioned earlier, meron po kaming limit. Si rider po kasi namin, ang kaya po niya ay 20 kilos. How do we pay the seller? Okay. So, kapag drop shipment, direct deposit po ito. So, Pagkatapos nyo po magbenta, makakakuha po kayo ng sales report. Makikita nyo po yon sa back-end system access nyo called Seller Center. Tapos makikita nyo po doon per line item kung ano yung nabenta, at what price, ilan yung quantity. And then from there, you have the chance to review. Let us know kung okay po ba tayo pareho. And then from there, we will do a direct deposit to your account. Yes, you will have to include the invoice when you deliver to the customers. What is the profile of Zalora customers? Basically, ano siya, mostly women from 25 to 35 years old. However, we see this evolving also as we go along kasi we are planning to carry other categories. For the letter of intent, just email us, give us your product list, your catalog, and then we can definitely talk. Pwede tayo mag-call via mobile o di kaya pwede din tayo mag-Zoom meeting. Okay. Do you have options sa kami na mag-deliver especially for big sizes or more than 20 kilos? Yes, there is an option. Pwede natin pag-usapan yan. We are open to do fulfillment by the seller. Okay lang yan. We are open for that. Do you also carry healthy beverage powder drinks? Yes. We do actually. We would love to carry more. Yan yung expansion plans namin to carry essential goods. So that would mean food, beverages, medical supplies, health products, over-the-counter medicine, and personal care products. I think I can take in maybe 1 or 2 more questions.
That's great to hear, Jackie. We
Okay.
have a couple of more questions for you here.
Sure.
Let me see. We have a question, I believe, from Annette Anduyan. If you haven't
Okay.
answered it already, what is the volume requirement for suppliers of products?
Oh, actually, wala naman kaming volume requirement. The beauty with drop shipment is, you can definitely start with us and we can grow with you.
All right. One more question. How much commission do you collect? What's a good percentage to set?
Oh, for that, it really depends on the product category. So it's best to email us so we can discuss.
I see. All right. Well, it's 10:30 now, and we have quite a few more questions, but I believe those can be answered asynchronously.
Okay, sure.
So thank you very much, Jackie and Pammy.
Thank you also.
All right.
Thanks too.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
So before we continue to our next speaker, first a word from our sponsors. Kailangan ng kapital? Abangan sa 11:30 a.m. ang assistance ng DTI galing sa SB Corp. That's 11:30 ngayon, 11:30 today. Now, for our next speaker, we have Martin Mauhay, Head of Business Development for PayMaya. Martin?
Good morning, Carlo. Paul Betya here. No, I'll be the one to cover today. Martin participated, I think, the other day. You know, so yes, I'll be talking about PayMaya. Yeah.
Thank you, Paul.
Is it okay to proceed?
Go right ahead.
Okay. Let me just share my screen and do let me know if it shows up properly. How's that? Carlo, is it showing properly?
Loud and clear.
Okay, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat, no? But before I proceed, I'd like to greet our frontliners, our bayani ng bayan, a very happy Labor Day. Though I wish it could be in much better circumstances, no? And very enthused to see our friends, our merchant partners from Lazada, from Zalora, and SB Corp and Google. So this morning, I'll just go through basically what PayMaya is, who we are, what our key solutions are, and just inject some clips just to make it a little more interesting and probably add the value of entertainment in this presentation. Okay, so these are the things I'll cover. As I mentioned, who is PayMaya, why do we have to digitalize, what's our solutions, and how else can we support you? And so initially, PayMaya is the digital financial services company under Voyager. We are one of the largest digital financial technology and services company in the country. We offer end-to-end solutioning and servicing for micro, small merchants up to the conglomerates, no? And we have a very deep portfolio of solutions. And one thing that we are very proud of is that PayMaya is proudly Filipino company. It was founded by a Filipino, driven by Filipinos, and we're very proud to say that our technology is Filipino. And what's more that we want to highlight is local player, yes, but we have very big international investors. On top of being affiliated with PLDT, which is the #1 telecommunications company in the country, we have 3 really big international investors backing us up. So we have KKR, it's an American giant global investment firm. Tencent is also a big Chinese multinational technological conglomerate. And IFC is the investment arm of the World Bank. So as you can see, we have very reputable partners supporting PayMaya. And just briefly, just a little about me before I proceed. So I've been with the banking industry for more or less around 22 years. No, I was specializing in developing and growing sales engines or sales channels from direct selling to telemarketing and anything in between those. Majority pushing consumer banking products. And these were with really formidable foreign banks in the Philippines. And sometime 2-3 years back, I took a leap of faith. I decided I was very curious about the fintech space, so I jumped. And very fortunate that Voyager took me in under fintech at that time. No, and I wanted to see how my skill set can help proliferate and enhance the digital financial inclusion challenge that we are faced right now. No, that's one thing that is a separate discussion, but that's one thing that is very important also. And from there, as I share my expertise, I also want to learn more about the technological side of this industry. And so essentially about me, I'm a father of 2 beautiful kids. Dalawang aking anak. I'm married to a very beautiful wife, and so that's essentially me. And please allow me, I'll just move on. No, so okay. So PayMaya, kilala si PayMaya with the banner product or with the banner brand as a PayMaya e-wallet. No, e-wallet siguro i-simplify ko na lang. Yung pitaka mo ngayon, nandun yung pera mo, nandun yung ATM mo, nandun yung credit card mo. Pero ita-transpose natin yan, lilipat natin yan. Ito na ang magiging bago mong pitaka, yung cellphone mo. Nandito na ang iyong cash, nandito lang yung pera. Pwede ka na rin mag-link ng credit card at debit card mo at kung ano-ano pa in your e-wallet. Very similar to GCash and our friends from Coins. No? And then the second brand that we are very proud of is also PayMaya Enterprise. That's the merchant acquiring business of PayMaya. We help power the payment solution requirements of the wide array of enterprises, from the casual sellers to the micro sellers and up to the big conglomerates. PayMaya is there powering their payment acceptance. And this is like PayPal, but cheaper. We're also like your merchant acquiring banks like BDO, like Metrobank and BPI. You know, we offer similar and perhaps more payment solutions from these brands. And third, and something that we're also really proud of, especially these days, no, is Smart Padala. It's our domestic remittance company. Very, very well engaged these days. No, this is where we're beyond 30,000 Smart Padala agents that are helping the economy simply for sending and receiving money. We are promoting. We don't want that you push for cash and transmittal, but this one is digital. Somebody from Manila can send real time or money to somebody in Davao, somebody in Zamboanga, or somebody in Bicol. So these are the three main lines under our PayMaya brand, our company. Now, these are just for information and visibility. These are just some of the strategic partners that we have right now. And again, this is growing every day. And I just like to emphasize that we are, we don't just cover the commercial side of it, but we are now really gaining traction on the government side. We are now in partnership with around 20 plus government agencies. Obviously, one of them and one of our favorite partners is with DTI and all of others. We're powering online payment solutions, making payments easier for the Filipino so that they don't have to go they don't have to physically go and make their transactions. We offer those online solutions to make it simpler for them. Okay, so second, bakit ba natin kailangan mag-digitalize ng payment? No? Subukan kong sagutin to now. Kadalasan, pag kami nakikipag-usap sa ating mga interested parties, mga enterprises at korporasyon, isa sa pinaka-importanteng proposition na binibigay namin ay yung pag nag-digital payment ka, natatanggal o nababawasan yung cash handling risk. Yung pagkakataong nawawala o nakukupit o nababawasan ang remittance sa'yo ng bayad. No? And ito medyo popular. No? A lot, we're talking to and we're partnership with a lot of FMCG companies. Yung tinatanggal na natin yung pagkolekta ng van salesman nila ng cash. Kasi minsan, hindi naman sinasadya, kulang ang bilang o nawawala. Ngayon, pinapalitan natin yan ng digital solution para mula sa grocery or mula sa kanilang retailers, pagbayad nila, digital na, QR code or yung ating credit card transaction. At ang settlement po nun o bayad po nun, diretso na po sa kumpanya. So, nare-relieve po o nababawasan po ng risk yung middle nung nag-handling ng cash. Pangalawa, although I don't want to really put it this way, but importante rin po ang digital payments lalong-lalo na ngayon. No? As you can see in my screen, there are a lot of studies that are showing na ang itong virus ng COVID-19 lumalaganap sa pamamagitan ng pagpasa ng cash. And ayaw natin yan. So sana, people start considering na, PayMaya is here offering digital, cashless, contactless, and secure payments. Okay. So this is, I think, for me, my most important takeaway or my most important message for everyone here. Lalong-lalo na yung ating mga nanonood na mga SME partners ng DTI. Sanay tayo sa cash, as they say, cash is king. Pero now more than ever, lalo na enhanced community quarantine tayo and the likes, very limited ang movement. Now more than ever, tingnan natin, pag-aralan natin, huwag tayong matakot, subukan natin. Mag-research tayo sa internet. Now more than ever, tayong mga merchants o mga enterprise, kailangan po natin magkaroon o magdagdag ng abilidad na makatanggap ng bayad, na liban lang sa cash, liban lang sa cheque, or even liban sa bank transfers, but accept all forms of payment anytime, anywhere. PayMaya can power that solution, can give those solutions to you. Just let us know. I have friends and colleagues here in the Zoom chat group and also on the Facebook chat group. They are, helping answer your queries. So do send in your questions, and we'll try our best to tackle them as you send them. Another item here in this particular slide is PayMaya is your partner for omni-channels. Hindi lang naman kami limited sa brick and mortar or physical stores. In fact, we pride ourselves that we have a very, very huge coverage of the e-commerce space. Siguro 70% of e-commerce, one way or the other, is powered powered by PayMaya. And as you can see on the lower part, these are our affiliations and our partnerships with major brands. No, so this is very reputable. These are very reputable brands as well. So sunod, ano ba ang aming mga solutions? No, we have a lot, but for purposes of this, given the limited time constraints, I will share a couple na gusto kong ma-highlight at sana ma-appreciate nyo. And pag may mga tanong kayo, again, wag po kayong mag-atubiling magtanong sa mga chat groups dyan. I have my colleagues who are very, very much capable of answering your queries. So, ang pinakauna yung aming email and SMS invoicing. Later, kikwentuhan ko kayo tungkol dyan. Pero bago yan, share muna ako ng video para mapanood nyo to.
Hi there. This video will teach you how to issue an email invoice to your customers. If you already have your credentials for your PayMaya Manager account, you can then proceed to click the Invoice tab on the left-hand side of your screen. When the invoice page loads, click Create New Invoice. Input the details of the purchase service or product like the unit price and the item's description. Click on the calendar button on the right-hand side of your screen and set the transaction date and the invoice due date. Select your currency and complete your customer's details. When you're done, review the information sheet and click Send. An invoice will be sent to your customers via email. So let's recap how to email a payment invoice. First, you click on the Invoices tab. Then, you create a new invoice. Third, just fill up the required information. And finally, click Send. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact your PayMaya partner.
Okay, I hope narinig niyo yung audio, no? But again, kakwentuhan ko kayo tungkol dito sa email and SMS invoicing product solution namin. 5-10 years ago, pag ikaw ay isang merchant o establishment at gusto mong tumanggap ng credit cards, medyo hindi ganun kadali. Yung mga bangko at that time, daming documents na hihingin sa inyo, siguro 100 mahigit, no, na dokumento, at tatanungin ka nila o pagbabasihan din nila ang iyong mga monthly sales volume. So, long and short, the process was a bit tedious at maraming criterias, no? And the terminals at that time were big, bulky, and connected with so many cables, no? Here, with PayMaya, under our email SMS invoicing solution, we are empowering the small, the micro enterprises, no? Not just the conglomerates, giving them that ability through the solution to accept credit, debit, prepaid cards, and even upcoming payment solutions like QR codes. It does not require a terminal. All you have to do is have a valid email account. And picture a scenario na in that email, we give you an access to a PayMaya portal dedicated to you. And in that email or in that portal, pwede ka ngayong mag-customize ng iyong invoice o yung iyong billing statement. No? Meron kang customer, gustong bumili ng ganitong number of goods, ganitong number of food or materials. I-detail mo yan sa invoice mo, lalagay mo yung cost per quantity, and then it will also compute on the total intended cost. And then, once ready na yung invoice mo, all you have to do is just input your customer's email address and then send that email. Ngayon, pagdating dun sa customer mo, matatanggap niya yung email. Pagbukas niya, makikita lang naman niya dun yung invoice detail mo. So, na makikita mo yung items, yung quantity, and then yung amount. And ito na yung pinakamagandang part. Hindi lang siya email just to notify, pero email din siya para makapagbayad na yung customer mo from that email platform. Sa baba ng email, merong pay button doon. Pag kinlik ng customer mo yon, yung pay button, mararoute siya sa landing page ng PayMaya. Para tong niroute ka na sa online payments. No? Pagdating mo doon, meron kang 2 o 3 options para magbayad. Ang una doon at pinaka-popular is yung pag-enter mo ngayon ng credit card number mo at yung credit card details mo at amount. And pag ready ka na, click pay. Ganun lang kasimple. So the payment will now move, and the merchant will be settled at a time that is agreed upon. And it's that simple. And SMS invoicing, this is a new innovation. Hindi lang to email, but in that portal, pwede mo nang makita yung gumagawa ka ng invoice. Meron kang option ngayon na kokopyahin mo yung link ng invoice at pwede mong ipadala ngayon yan sa mga customers mo, not just by email, but through social media applications and even SMS. So yung link nung checkout page, nandun na. So imagine mo sa Viber group, pinadala mo yung link sa kaibigan mo, pagbukas niya, makikita niya kaagad yung landing page ng PayMaya at yung summary ng invoice na nung in-order mo. At pag gusto na niyang bayaran, pwede niyang i-proceed yung pag-click. So very, very inconvenient, no? Anytime, kasi kahit sa bahay, pwede mong gawin. Anytime, kahit anong oras, day or night, anywhere, bahay, opisina, at kung saan ka man in between those, no? So it's a very, very innovative tool, and we're very, very proud of this. In fact, I just have to mention that the demand has, ballooned over the last 2 months for this particular solution. So this is our email SMS invoicing. This next one is something that's close to our heart, no? To my heart. This is the PayMaya QR. This is also another simple but very innovative solution. It allows the customer to just scan to pay. So scan to pay siya. You are provided 2 variations ng aming static, which is yung may standee, or we can even give you the digital QR, wherein pagtanggap mo niyan, soft copy, you can now post it on your website, post it on your social media page, or print it and display it in your physical stores, or even pass it to your customers. This makes it very, very easy for them to pay you as the merchant. And it's secure, and this is, again, all our products are supervised and monitored and checked by the BSP. So this is something we're proud of. In fact, later I'll show you what other perks do you get if you pay using the QR code. No? So I'll show you another clip here after the slide. Yeah. So this is a very, very popular promo that we have under our QR, and I'm sure some of you, or probably a lot of you, have already heard of it. This is our cashback promo. So allow me just to play a very short clip.
Cashback? Meron nun?
PayMaya, para scan to pay lang at may cashback pa, don't pay cash. PayMaya.
Okay, so yun, nagbayad ka na, pero pagkatapos mo magbayad using the QR, makakakuha ka pa ng rebate. The rebate can be, anywhere from 1%, 10%, or even 100%, capped at 1,000 pesos of your transaction. So personally, I like this a lot when I purchase, let's say in Mercury Drug for vitamins and medicine, and when you purchase, and after probably a couple of minutes, you will also see in your PayMaya ledger that there you go, you have a cash rebate. Magugulat ka na lang, no? So that's one of our popular programs right now. That's why a lot of people love to use PayMaya. The second, or this particular feature also under the solutions, would be the P2P payment acceptance. This is a very popular and common feature. P2P is person to person. No, person to person sending, lalo na ngayon sa panahon ngayon na medyo we limit or binabawasan natin yung pakikipag contact or social distancing. When you want to send money to a loved one or to a partner, associate, or friend, there's that feature in PayMaya. You can send money and you can receive money. So tayo, ang ating mga MSMEs or ating mga audience ngayon, if you have a PayMaya, well and good, and you can use this. Pag may gustong bumili sa inyo, syempre, if you're selling, somebody has to pay para umikot ang ating commerce, no? So if you're selling and then you want them to accept payments, you can just tell them na, this is my PayMaya account number. Send me your payment para I can already deliver or give you the goods. So this is another way, isang pamamaraan po ito na contactless, cashless, at secure para magpadala ng bayad or payment sa inyo, no? Sa inyong mga customers, at tumanggap ng payment sa inyong customers. Okay. Okay, this one, ito naman ang ating checkout plugins. Ito naman po para sa mga ating mga enterprises na nasa online business or gustong sumubok mag-online, no? So, isang option na meron kami para mabilis ka nang mag-develop ng iyong online commerce or online store at hindi ka na mahirapan na ikaw pa ang maghahanap ng integrator or programmer. So, we have preferred partners like Shopee, Shopify, Magento, and WooCommerce. Sila po mga online platform na pag kayo nag-set up with them, we have solutions, yung aming e-commerce plugin, madali po siyang ma-integrate kaagad, no? In a matter of days or in a matter of probably hours pag tama ang pagkagawa ng integration, maaari ka nang tumanggap ng checkout payments or ng credit card or debit card payments through PayMaya. So that's one very popular feature now more than ever. The demand for online solutions and online payments are really increasing, and I hope na mahikayat namin kayo na sa mga nanonood na sumubok, wag matakot, no? Wag tayong matakot. Lahat naman tong bagay na to na pag-aaralan at wag kayong maghiyang magtanong, no? Pag may tanong kayo, you can just go to our page www.paymaya.com, or later on I'll flash our inquiry email address, no? Sign up at .enterprise@paymaya.com. And pag may mga kaibigan kayo na naka-PayMaya app, tanungin niyo sila kung kamusta ang kanilang experience, no? Huwag kayong matakot, subukan niyo at para matutunan niyo at sana naman ay magustuhan niyo yung features and benefits ng PayMaya. And again, this one is we're moving on to a more sophisticated but very popular solution sa aming mga mid-size and large and conglomerate clientele. No, this is what we call our PayMaya One. This is our point of sale terminal. As you can see, ibang kulay. This departs from your conventional black terminals that you see in the market. As you can see, it is also wireless. Hindi ito nakadikit sa cable at nakakonect sa inyong phone. But this one comes with a SIM card, and we're happy to say that this can be either a smart or a globe SIM card, depending on kung ano yung signal strength of preference in your area. And to add to that, we provide the data service for free. So you're not charged with a data service. So this device is portable. You can bring it to your customer instead of the customer going to the cashier or the waiter taking the cards to the cashier. But here at this point in time now na hindi naman ganun ka-open yet ang dining, but these devices are up front so that when you pick it up or you pick your orders up, you pick your pre-cooked meals or your frozen food, then it's an option that the merchant can display and can put to be able to accept card payments. It's a dip, tap, and swipe functionality. In that device, it also comes with our dynamic QR. So if you are a PayMaya customer and you want to pay using your PayMaya wallet, you can also generate a dynamic QR which is distinct to the transaction. Para diretso na, no? Pag generate ng QR, pag in-scan ng customer yun, nandun na yung pangalan ng merchant, nandun na yung amount ng transaction. Ang kailangan mo na lang gawin pindutin na lang yung pay. No? So that's really something that we're happy and we're proud of. No? So this one requires this one opens up the payment solution or acceptance points for your business. Okay, so the PayMaya one. Okay, I had to make it fast because I know you have a lot of questions. My friends are there in the Zoom chat group and in the Facebook chat group. Just fire away and let us know. Okay, so how else can we support you? So PayMaya in cooperation with DTI, we have prepared really quickly over the last month. We have pivoted and created and enhanced our onboarding process. BAU before COVID, yes, medyo may konting effort para mag-onboard sa PayMaya. Pero ngayon, we have streamlined our processes, and we have a lot of merchants saying that it was very fast and very easy to go through. And this we also offer to the members and to those people watching here in the DTI hosted webinar. Comprehensive data of onboarding literature. Yes, we'll give access to DTI of some of these materials that we have, and I'm sure they'll be able to share it and send it to you when you need it. And of course, preferred pricing. We have our rack rates, but if you are a DTI member, or if DTI, if you're watching right now, again, email us at signup.enterprise@paymaya.com. Please consider using the subject or the email title DTI/or-0501. So it's going to be faster for us to identify. Okay, so summary as my takeaway here is, number one, tayo pong mga micro, small, and medium enterprises, kailangan nating sumubok na. Lalo na ngayon, nakita nyo naman ang impact ng COVID-19, enhanced community quarantine. Medyo naantala ang ating negosyo. So kailangan nyo ng pag-isipan ngayon para pag sakaling na-lift or na-modify ang ating enhanced community quarantine, more or less nandun na kayo, already na kayo, na meron na kayong mga PayMaya acceptance solutions. Merchants kailangan tumanggap ng iba-ibang pamamaraan ng bayad, di lang cash, di lang cheque, at di lang bank deposits. Pamamaraan ng pagbayad kahit saan at kahit kailan. Matutuwa po ang inyong mga customers niyan dahil binibigyan niyo po sila ng pagkakataong pumili kung paano po magbayad sa inyo. Okay? Pangalawa, digital invoicing via email and SMS is the future. Ito po yung aking pinakita kanina. Dati-dati, ang malalaking negosyo lang ang kayang mabigyan o kayang kumuha ng mga credit card accepting terminals. Ngayon, hindi na. We are changing that. We are enhancing the landscape. So the simple, small, medium enterprises can take this on. Again, you can ask us, and we can provide you the solution so that you can enjoy expanding your business. Dati-dati, kung ang mga mamimili mo, cash lang ang pinangbabayad at limited lang yung cash niya, hanggang doon lang ang kaya niyang bilhin. Pero pag meron na siyang option ngayon na magbayad gamit ang kanyang ATM o ang kanyang debit card o ATM card at ang kanyang credit card, di hamak na pwede pa niyang palawigin o pwede pa niyang palakihin yung mga pamimilihin niyang mga bagay o serbisyo sa inyong enterprise. So this is one of the benefits of being able to accept alternative payments. Siyempre pa, yung aming QR para contactless and para cashless and para secure. Very, very popular po yan ngayon. Marami pong lumalapit sa aming mga foundations at organizations na gustong mag-generate ng donations. So we probably have around 20 or 30 affiliations right now as we speak, and we have powered them with QR codes so that their communities or the people that want to help them can just scan the QR and again make the donations digitally. We are also we're also reaching out to churches in this particular time. The use of QR is a very popular practice in churches in Europe, and we would like to really leverage and pilot that or take that on here. We are in talks with several dioceses and parishes, and they have signified great level of interest. And very soon, you will perhaps see PayMaya QRs in your churches for donations and fund drives. Third is upgrade and complement on your ground business by going online. Kung tayo ngayon ay nasa physical stores or brick and mortar enterprises, well and good, palawigin pa natin yan. Pero wala pong mawawala sa inyo kung susubukan yung mag-expand ng distribution or acceptance via online. Tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, maraming mga online platforms na madaling puntahan at madaling kausapin at tutulungan pa kayo kung paano nyo gagawin yung mga online shops at online stores nyo. At pag nandyan na yan, nandito naman po kami. Nakaabang at handang tumulong at mag-power ng payment acceptance. Siyempre, nagbebenta ka, kailangan bigyan mo rin sila ng pamamaraan paano magbayad sa inyo. Kami yon. We will help you.
That's great to hear, Paul.
Yeah.
It's 11 o'clock now, so I'm afraid we don't have time for
Sure.
Q&A.
Sure.
However, those of you on Zoom and Facebook who have questions to ask, and there are quite a lot of them, we will consolidate all your questions and do our best to reach out to you.
Yeah. Carlo, would you allow me just one more slide just to cap it off? Quickly.
Really quickly, please.
Yeah. So this is it. No, this is the email address that I was saying earlier. Just email this and use the subject. And just for DTI, we're letting everyone know by next week we're launching our new app, the PayMaya Negosyo. So it starts with the Android market or Google Play first, but do consider download that. You'll have the functionality of basic negosyo, sending of money, bills paying, and selling of load. And of course, you get your own QR. Your QR code for payment acceptance. That's for free. So next week it will come out. So please do check it out. Okay, Carlo, thank you so much. I apologize for breaching my time limit. It was an engaging conversation for me. Again, if you have any questions, my friends are in the chat group and they're very much willing to engage you with your questions. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Same here. Thank you.
Before we go to our next speaker, a word from our sponsors. Kailangan ng kapital? Abangan sa 11:30 a.m. ang assistance ng DTI galing sa SB Corp. 11:30 a.m. ngayon. Thank you. Now, moving on to our next speaker, we have Dana Maharokon, the Managing Director of Lala Move. Dana?
Hello, good morning to everyone. Thank you so much, DTI, for organizing this event. I'm sure this is going to be extremely helpful for all our SMEs and MSMEs that are struggling during this COVID period. So today I'll be discussing what Lala Move is about, as well as some tips on how to jumpstart or reboot your business during this COVID season and preparing for the new norm. Right? Let's see, let me just share my screen. Okay. All right, so what is Lala Move? Lala Move is an on-demand logistics company that connects customers with thousands of motorcycles, MPVs, and light truck drivers. So para po sa kaalaman ng mga nanonood ngayon, ang Lala Move ay hindi lang po para sa motor. Meron din po tayong MPV at meron din tayong light truck para matulungan ang inyong same-day or scheduled deliveries. Lala Move disrupts traditional logistics with innovations like instant order matching, GPS tracking para sa ating mga drivers, 24/7 services, and the driver rating system para po magamit ninyo ang ating technology para sa inyong mga delivery needs at ma-maximize ang sharing economy. Marami tayong mga drivers na nangangailangan or marami tayong mga drivers na may assets gaya ng motor hanggang light truck na maaaring magamit sa Lala Move platform. So with Lala Move's state-of-the-art technology and best-in-class customer service, deliveries have never been faster, easier, and more reliable. Marami tayong options para mag-deliver. Pwede tayong magkaroon ng delivery services in-house, pwede rin tayong mag-outsource. Kaya lang, pag tayo ay may in-house fleet, maaari rin itong magkaroon ng high investment, high human capital, and nadadilute ang ating focus. Kung hindi delivery ang primary business ninyo at magtayo kayo ng sarili nyong in-house fleet, lalo na sa ating mga SMEs, maaari itong mag-cause ng dilution ng ating attention. Pag outsource naman, maraming mga in-between or middlemen. So meron din tayong limited scalability dahil fixed ang number of vehicles na available. Dahil napupool ang ating mga deliveries, mas mahaba ang ating wait time or turnaround time at iba-iba or varied ang ating mga pricing. Ito po ang traditional 3PL model na maaari rin pong gamitin ng ating mga small and medium enterprises. Pero para sa atin, deliveries could definitely be done better. leveraging on technology, we can enable businesses to widen their reach. Lalong-lalo na ngayong panahon ng COVID na hindi tayo nakakapagbukas ng ating mga negosyo sa ating mga brick and mortar facilities, kailangan talaga nating mag-online. At sa tulong ng Lala Move, maaari nyo pang mapalawak ang reach ninyo sa inyong mga clients. Bakit nga ba gusto ng mga consumers ang delivery apps? Siyempre, delivery apps have better pricing. There are more choices in the marketplace and they can be conveniently accessed. Maaari kayo mag-download ng app, maaari kayo pumunta sa web app, maaari rin kayo mag-integrate via API. Mobile internet po ang ating driving force sa panahon ngayon. At sa tulong ng Lala Move, maaari kayo magka-access sa kahit anong device ninyo, laptop, desktop, mobile. Meron po tayong real-time tracking. Transparent po ang ating pricing. Bago pa kayo mag-book, makikita nyo na yung final quote. At yun na po ang magiging final pricing natin. Siyempre, dahil marami po, libo-libo po ang drivers natin sa Metro Manila at sa Cebu, mabilis ang ating delivery. So the platform also allows for route optimization. So kung halimbawa marami kayong drop-off points, ang Lala Move platform maaaring mag-deliver up to 20 addresses per order. Meron po tayong optimized route sa ating web app na pwede niyong i-click lamang at i-recommend po ng ating platform ang pinakamabilis at pinakamatipid na ruta para sa inyo. And as I mentioned earlier, para po sa ating technologically enabled na ng mga businesses, yung mga may sariling website, pwede rin po tayo mag-connect via API. So, Lala Move uses shared vehicles and professional drivers to offer a scalable, cost-effective, and reliable on-demand delivery solution. We exist to make deliveries fast and simple. Kaya nga po, we leverage on technology para at the tip of your fingers, maaari kayong mag-deliver agad-agad. We build partnerships to accelerate scalability. So, ang Lala Move po ay syempre highly reliant sa ating mga partner drivers at sa ating mga business users or business clients para mas mapalaki pa ang ating reach. So, hindi lang po partner drivers at business users ang ating mga partners, kundi yung mga brands din na tumutulong sa ating mga partner drivers, gaya ng mga fuel companies, healthcare companies na nagbibigay ng benepisyo para sa ating mga partner drivers. Ano ba ang ino-offer ng Lala Move? Ano? So, gaya ng na-mention ko kanina, Lala Move is 24/7. Maaari kayong mag-book in advance, up to 1 month. Maaari rin kayong mag-book ng last minute or on demand. Hindi nyo na kailangan tumawag or mag-follow up dahil makikita ninyo ang real-time location ng ating mga partner drivers through the app. Right? So, it's available on both phone and desktop. Your goods are insured. And of course, we offer multiple payment options. Ito ay napaka-importante sa panahon ngayon dahil sa pandemic na kumakalat ay kailangan nating i-promote ang contactless deliveries. So hanggat maaari, ina-encourage namin ang ating mga SMEs at MSMEs na gamitin ang Lala Move wallet para ma-minimize ang pagpasa ng pera sa ating mga partner drivers. Ang Lala Move po ay nasa 12 countries in over 200 cities. Sa Pilipinas, tayo po ay nasa Greater Manila at nasa Cebu rin po tayo. So sa lahat po ng mga nanonood ngayon na from Greater Manila at Cebu na hindi pa po gumagamit ng Lala Move, maaari namin kayong matulungan para ang inyong business ay maaari niyong buksan online at ma-deliver niyo ang inyong mga produkto sa mga kliyente niyo sa Manila at sa Cebu. So we create opportunities from technology. Papaano? Our drivers need employment. Meron silang mga motor, meron silang mga vans at trucks na hindi na ma-maximize. Kung kaya't napakalaki rin ang opportunity nila para kumita through Lala Move. And of course, our business clients need to service their end consumers. So our customers need courier services, which Lala Move is able to provide through its platform. We create earning opportunities for partner drivers. So hindi lang sila kumikita dahil sa deliveries, marami rin silang benepisyo na nakukuha sa Lalamove. Katulad nga ng na-mention ko kanina, from fuel discounts to healthcare benefits to parts and maintenance services, even leisure like massage, nakakakuha po ang ating mga Lalamove partner drivers ng mga ganitong benepisyo dahil gusto po nating i-celebrate ang ating mga partner drivers as our heroes on the road. Napakalaki po ng naitutulong ng ating mga partner drivers sa panahon ngayon, kung kaya't gusto po naming i-recognize ang kanilang mga efforts. Of course, we add value to our clients. No? This is one example. Pasteleria Manila has been a Lalamove loyal partner client for quite some time now. And this is just a sample testimonial. So after this, I'll be presenting some videos on how we have been able to help MSMEs, SME, and even enterprise clients. The first video I'll be showing is for an MSME. And then the next one is for an enterprise client. Dahil ang Lalamove platform po ay napaka-flexible para sa kahit anong size ng negosyo na mayroon kayo.
This business has been our passion for quite some time because we are kind of like foodies. So we love food, we love to cook. We had logistical challenges before since we didn't have as big of a reach as we do now with Lalamove. So we really like the insulated bag.
That is really a game changer for the food industry because when you're serving fresh and hot meals, you allow your clients to prolong the freshness of the food. It's more than just a transaction, it's a partnership.
We have our own fleet of logistic, but of course, the requirement is getting higher and higher, and it's so difficult to keep up increasing the fleets. So we try to look for third-party outsourced company to help us in a day-to-day requirement, and that's the reason why we moved to Lalamove. And so far, we're quite happy with the services of Lalamove, especially with your app where we can even monitor where they are. It's timely, it's fast, we're able to monitor it. Everything is okay.
Ayan po. So, hindi lang po ang ating mga micro and small medium enterprises ang maaring gumamit ng Lalamove, kundi even well-established or large conglomerates can still use the platform. So, ngayon pag-usapan naman natin, paano tayo makaka-adapt ngayong meron nga po tayong pandemic. So, marami rin pong nilalabas na mga tips ang Lalamove. Everything can be found in the Lalamove website. Dito rin maaari kayong mag-sign up as a client or mag-sign up as a partner driver kung ang negosyo nyo naman ay mayroon kayong maraming mga vehicles na maaari nyo i-sign up sa Lalamove. So, number 1, communication is key. Ngayong maraming mga negosyo ang hindi nakakapag-operate dahil sa ECQ. Sinasuggest natin na either gumawa kayo or i-update ninyo ang inyong website para malaman ng inyong mga customers kung paano kayo makukontact. Go digital. So, napaka-importante po nito dahil lahat ng tao ngayon ay nasa kanilang mga bahay. So, kailangan magkaroon tayo ng online channel. Over the past few days, DTI has been promoting some of our digital platforms that can help you take your business online. So gamitin po natin ito, i-maximize po natin. Nandyan din po ang Facebook, ang Google, para mabenta ninyo ang inyong mga produkto online. Napaka-drastic ng change na naganap ngayon. Kung kaya't kailangan din po natin syempre mag-prepare para sa ating future. Pagkatapos ng ECQ, papaano natin i-recover ang ating business? Ako, we try to look at this in a very optimistic manner. Dahil lahat ng mga negosyo na walang digital presence dati ay napilitang maging digital. Imagine after the ECQ, now that there is the new norm, after 2 months of us pushing our businesses online, we now have 2 access points pagkatapos nitong pagkatapos ng ECQ. Kung kaya't kailangan din natin maghanda para ma-enhance lalo ang ating negosyo, both online and offline. And of course, Lalamove is always here to help to continue sustaining and supporting your businesses for all your delivery needs. Alright, so ito po ang mga access channels natin sa Lalamove: mobile, API, desktop. Okay, so to sum it up, Lalamove is here to help all our MSMEs. We are here to make deliveries fast and simple. Maraming salamat po. So I'll answer now some of the questions that our viewers are sending over, ano? Ayan, sige. Meron pong question dito, ano ang service coverage ng Lala Move? So, ang Lala Move po ay present sa Greater Manila area hanggang Laguna at hanggang some parts of Laguna and some parts of Bulacan. Hindi pa po tayo available in all provinces pero we are in Greater Manila and in Cebu. Wala ang rates po natin. So, is there a difference in rates pag B2C? Ang rates po natin ay standard per kilometer. So may base price and then may per kilometer charging po tayo, and then meron po tayong mga available additional services para sa inyo. Ngayon, nagbabago ang parehas lang po ang ating pricing model kung business kayo or consumer. Pero ang malaki pong diferensya, pag kayo po ay nag-sign up as a corporate account, you are entitled to discounts and rebates as a corporate partner. Okay. So for Lala Move, it's good to know that you could cater to the needs of bigger enterprises. For B2B logistics, I'd like to know how your price how you price deliveries. Is it by volume, by weight, or some other system? So pag nag-book po kayo ng Lala Move, ang binobook nyo po ay yung buong vehicle. So kung motor po ito, maaari po kayo mag-deliver ng 20 by 15 by 20 inches na mga items up to 20 kilograms. Sa ating mga MPVs po, na nakalagay rin po sa ating website yung maximum capacity. Pero yung pangalan po na binigay natin sa ating mga four-wheel vehicles ay 300 kg, 600 kg, 1,000 kg at 2,000 kg para po malaman ninyo kung ano ang mga weight capacity natin. Of course, the size capacity will depend on the vehicle size mismo. So kung nag-book kayo ng 1,000 kg, iyan po yung ating mga H100, L300. So hanggang magkakasya po siya at hindi po lalagpas ng 1,000 kg, maaari po natin itong i-deliver. Okay. Ayan po, na-mention ko po kanina na yes, we deliver in Bulacan, but we are only up until Paumbong, Bulacan. Okay. What are the prerequisites for corporate accounts on Lala Move? Of course, kailangan po ay registered ang ating business. Napakadali po mag-sign up. All you have to do is go to the Lala Move website, fill in your details there, and then one of our logistics consultants will reach out to you. Right. On API naman po, same din po, maaari po kayo mag-sign up sa ating website, and our logistics consultants will reach out para po ma-discuss in more detail ang ating API product. Does Lala Move allow for construction materials for delivery? Opo, maaari po tayo mag-deliver. Ngayon pong panahon ng ECQ, nililimitahan po natin ang ating mga types of deliveries sa mga essential items and supporting our essential industries. So basta po nasa implementing guidelines ng IATF, kung kasali po doon ang inyong industriya, maaari po namin kayong serbisyohan during this period. So what happens when the destination address is affected by the lockdown? How will the seller be compensated for this unforeseen event? So ang maganda po ay ang implementing guidelines ng ating IATF ay nakalagay po doon na cargo will remain unhampered. So ang serviceable area po ng Lala Move ay nagpapatuloy pa rin as is. Naglalagay rin po kami ng announcements kung halimbawa po may mga areas na nagto-total lockdown, binibigyan po namin ng ample warning or heads up ang ating mga clients para hindi na po muna sila mag-book for the duration ng total lockdown ng mga iilang mga barangay na nagkakaroon ng mga 24 to 48 hour lockdowns. Is there any monthly subscription? Wala pong monthly subscription sa Lala Move. You only have to pay for what you book. Okay? Tungkol naman po sa other area expansion, ito po ay ang parte po ng plano natin for the next year. So we are looking forward to expanding further in Bulacan, servicing the entire Bulacan, even the entirety of Laguna. So magantay na lang po tayo sa ating mga announcements para sa next round ng expansion natin. Do you accept rice products, 25 kg and 50 kg? Yes po. Kailangan lang po na ang vehicle type na pipiliin nyo ay akma para sa weight capacity na to. So, hindi po ito dahil 25 kg po ang na-mention ninyo, hindi po ito pwede sa ating mga motorsiklo dahil 20 kg lang po ang maximum ng motor. Sa MPV na po ito papasok. Yes, we deliver in Cavite. Can we arrange for a fixed schedule service? This is such a good question, no? Kasi ang Lalamove platform po ay napaka-flexible. Pwede kayong mag-schedule at pwede nyong gawing recurring ang inyong schedule para kung regular ang delivery time ninyo para sa inyong mga kliyente. Let's say, meron po kaming mga kliyente na subscription meal plans. Araw-araw, ito yung mga address na sineservisyohan nila sa ganitong oras. So, maaari lang po nilang i-clone ang kanilang mga order para hindi na po nila ita-type out ulit. Okay, do the drivers... sandali. Okay, so ang mga drivers po natin ay natatanggap ang mga deliveries, ay ang mga order requests base sa kanilang location. So, mabobroadcast ang mga orders na sa pinakamalapit na driver sa inyo. On corporate rates po, meron po tayong mga corporate benefits at corporate rebates. Pero parehas lang din po ang ating pricing for corporates and non-corporates. Okay. Ang maximum dimensions po ay nagdedepende sa vehicle type na i-avail ninyo. Lahat po ng detalye makikita po natin sa ating website. Okay. Yes po, we are in Los Baños, Laguna. Can your drivers deliver anywhere in Metro Manila now during ECQ? Yes po. Pero totoo rin po yung sinabi ninyo na merong mga difficulties to go through our checkpoints. Of course, naiintindihan din naman po ito ng Lalamove dahil kailangan din po ng ating mga checkpoints siguraduhin na lahat ng dumadaan sa checkpoints ay may valid reason to go around the metro, no? So kung ini-inspect po nila ang mga items, ini-inspect din po nila ang mga IDs para masigurado na parang nga po talaga sa deliveries ito. Unfortunately, dahil po dito, medyo nagtatagal din po ang ating deliveries dahil nga po pumipila pa sila sa checkpoint. Hinihingi po namin ang pag-intindi at pag-unawa ng ating mga consumers at sellers dahil po ito po talaga ang nangyayari ngayong ECQ. Inaasahan po natin na mas mapapadali na ito after the ECQ is lifted. And nagpapasalamat din kami sa ating mga partner drivers at sellers na at least kahit sa ganitong panahon nakaka-operate pa po tayo. Meron ding suggestion dito, sana magkaroon ng category between a motorcycle and MPV kasi napakalaki ng weight and size difference. Sana may median between the two. Maraming salamat, Maricor, for this suggestion. We will make sure to take this into consideration. Okay. Regarding naman po trail of tracking para po sa inyong mga receiver, kapag nilagay ninyo po ang numbers ng inyong mga drop-off points or receivers, automatically makakatanggap po sila ng tracking ID at makikita rin po nila ang map kung nasaan ang driver. And ang ating e-receipt po ay automatically masisend sa inyong email pagkatapos makomplete ng order. Do you pick up cargo from airport? Paano kasi nakapangalan sa consignment ang cargo? Yes, maaari po, pero kailangan nyo po mag-coordinate sa inyong mga respective couriers para ma-confirm kung ano po ang mga kinakailangan para ma-receive ang ating cargo. Maaari naman pong since multiple stops po ang capacity ng Lalamove, kung may mga documents na kailangang dalhin ng driver, maaari niyang i-pick up muna ito sa inyo bago siya pumunta sa cargo provider. Is the rider allowed to get some extra money aside from the amount in the app? No po, everything that is in the app is fixed for the size, weight, and distance that you have booked. Kung susobra po ang inyong delivery sa maximum capacity ng Lalamove, maaari po itong tanggihan ng ating mga partner drivers. Okay, so on Lalamove's contact details, so maaari po kayong pumunta sa lalamove.com. Choose your city kung nasa Manila man po kayo or sa Cebu. Maaari rin po kayong mag-email sa info.manila@lalamove.com or info.cebu@lalamove.com. Kung kayo po ay may business, pwede po kayong diretso nang mag-sign up. Kahit po may inquiry lang po kayo, maaari pa rin po kayong mag-sign up para ang ating mga logistics consultants ay ma-explain sa inyo kung paano po magka-corporate account sa Lalamove. May option po bang sumama ang passenger sa delivery kung hindi motorcycle ang gamit? Okay. Our clients also have can also provide their own assistance. So Lalamove has additional assistance services pag nag-book po kayo ng 4-wheel. Pag sa ating mga light trucks, maaari rin po kayong mag-book ng 2 additional assistant. Pero kung ang item na i-deliver ay kailangan ng special handling at gusto ninyo na kayo ang mag-provide ng assistant, maaari po ninyong gawin niyon, pero it's going to be free of charge. Okay? And this is completely optional din po. Okay? Ang negosyo po ng Lalamove ay pag-deliver ng cargo. So kung accessory to the delivery ang kasama or ang assistant, maaari po namin gawin ito. Pero hindi po namin kumbaga ira-round trip pabalik sa inyong warehouse ang assistant dahil wala na pong cargo na kasama. Paano pag MSME na sole proprietor, makaka-avail din ba ng discounts? Yes po, basta po registered ang inyong negosyo, maaari po kayo mag-sign up as a business account to be entitled to our corporate benefits and rebates. Are there any plans of expansion in the Davao region? Pinag-uusapan na rin po namin ito. Pinagpaplanuhan na rin po natin ito. Sana po by next year, maaari na po tayo mag-expand sa Davao. Ang Lalamove ba ay may button na pwedeng maklik ng customer namin, for example, sa Facebook page? Hindi ko po sigurado kung ano po ang ibig niyo sabihin dito, pero kung ang customer po, kung gusto niyo po makita ng customer kung nasaan na ang kanilang delivery, maaari niyo pong ilagay ang kanilang number habang nagbo-book po kayo para po makatanggap sila ng tracking link. Okay? Maaari nyo rin naman pong itag ang Lalamove sa inyong Facebook para po ma-promote din at masabihan ang inyong mga customers na pwede silang mag-book ng Lalamove para ma-deliver ang binili nila sa inyo. Okay. Can I deliver a truckload to several locations or do your drivers have helpers to assist them? If possible, how will Lalamove charge during this option? So pwede po tayong mag-multiple stops, up to 20 stops. So halimbawa po, ang inyong warehouse ay nag-i-intend mag-deliver sa 10 address or 10 supermarket. Maaari po natin itong gawin. Pwede rin po kayong mag-click ng additional service, additional assistant. So ang charging po ng additional assistant ay depende po sa number ng stops na inyong isi-select. Okay? Okay, we have 1 minute left. And I think I may have answered all the questions. If meron po tayong mga dagdag na katanungan, gaya po ng sabi ko, just visit lalamove.com. Click your city, whether you're from Manila or Cebu, and then you can sign up as a corporate account or you can even sign up as a partner driver. Kung meron po kayong mga karagdagang katanungan, pwede rin nyo rin po kayong i-email sa info.manila or info.cebu@lalamove.com. Alright, maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Dan. All right. Further questions will be answered by our team online later on. We are consolidating. However, for now, our next speaker is Frank Gonzaga, Vice President for Planning and Advocacy for SB Corp. Frank?
Let me just introduce Carlo.
Ladies and gentlemen, the CEO of FEMS International, Joel Santos. Hi, Joel.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Ito na po ang huli nating ito na po ang ating huling usapan bago tayo mananghalian. Diba? Ako po si Joel Santos. Ako po ang presidente ng FEMS International Business School. At gusto po namin sabihin, kasi alam ko, alam niyo na mga Pilipino, mas lalo na ngayon, Mayo 1, naaamoy na natin, parating na ang mga pagkain natin, either dinala ng Grab Food, Lalamove. So excited na tayo mananghalian. Pero wag po kayong umalis kasi sobrang importante ang ating pag-uusapan ngayon. Sa sunod na 30 minutes, ang ginagawa po ng DTI ay binibigyan tayo ng mga option kung paano magsimula ng negosyo using the e-commerce tool. Pero lagi nating iniisip, uy, okay yun, di ba? May negosyo ko, gusto ko na ngayon mag-e-commerce, pero saan ako kuha ng kapital? Ang ginagawa po ng DTI ngayon ay holistic solution. Pinapakilala po ang ating mga enablers and platforms. Binibigyan tayo ng mga seminar ngayon para mas lalong lumawak ang ating kaalaman kung paano magsimula dito sa e-commerce businesses. Ngayon, ang holistic solution naman po ay ang kapital. So, para sa kapital, nandito po si Vice President Frank Gonzaga ng SB Corp. Diba? Ito po ang lending arm or Small Business Corporation. Ito po ang lending arm ng DTI. At bibigyan naman po ninyo tayo ng mga bagong knowledge kung paano nga ba tayo maka-avail ng assistance ng pagdating sa kapital galing sa DTI. So Vice President Frank, take it away. I'm sure everybody will be excited to hear what you will share today. Tapos yung mga questions nyo lang, ipasok nyo and we will try to answer today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sir Carlo. Sir Joel, rather. Thank you very much, Sir Joel. Thank you very much also to Carlo. No? And nagpapasalamat kami kay ASEC Jean for bringing everyone together in this one platform. I'll be sharing a screen, no? Wait lang, let me just here. Okay. So we are again, thank you very much for a very holistic introduction, Sir Joel. Tama po kayo, no? The Small Business Corporation is the lending arm of the DTI. But just to give you more information as to who we are a non-bank government corporation. We were created in 1991 under the Magna Carta for MSMEs. And we are an attached agency and the financing arm of the DTI. So ang mandato po namin is to implement comprehensive policies and programs to assist MSMEs in all areas, including finance and information services, training, and marketing. So ngayon po, dahil nga po, we understand that being able to, kumbaga, ang role po ng SP Corp ngayon is to enable these enterprises to go digital. We will be presenting our CARES program. Ito po yung aming COVID-19 Assistance to Restart Enterprises. This is a financing window that we will make available for qualified micro and small enterprises affected by the COVID-19 pandemic and the quarantine measures implemented in the country. So ang tinitingnan po namin is that what types of enterprises will benefit in the program. Although this is not a comprehensive list po, kahit naman po sino po pwede pong manghiram sa amin. But in this, now that we're talking about digitization, ang naisip po namin is that one example would be food in terms of restaurants, specialty bake shops, themed food providers, catering services, who can easily go online and go digital. Transport and logistics companies, including specialty stores, traditional retail trade for crafts and products, service-related industry in automotive, example repair, detailing, photography, and health-related enterprises, including production and manufacture of face masks, vitamin supplements, etc. Sa kasalukuyan po, we are also collating kumbaga yung aming pong natatanggap na queries on about this program, and tumutugma naman po sa ating kumbaga nais na mangyari, that most of the enterprises that can go digital should go to digital space already. So ito po ay lumalabas po, 31% of our inquiries are from retail businesses. Ito po ay siguro ito po yung mga maliliit na tindahan who would like to go digital already. And 8% of our inquiries come from food and restaurant businesses. Okay. Sa mga katwid po, ang nakikita namin is that for you to be enabled to go to the digital e-commerce platform, kailangan nyo po ng puhunan. And ang sinasabi po sa amin is that the chances are, ang kakailanganin mo na puhunan dito ay either 50,000 loan o kaya ay maaabot siguro ng 100,000. So para po dito, these are just sample computation po that we're flashing on the screen, no? For a 50,000 loan.
Sorry, VP Frank. Pwede yung paki-full screen po yung presentation. Para
Full screen, sorry. Okay.
Thank you po.
That's okay. Here.
Yes.
So what we're saying here is that kung hihiram ka ng 50,000, and this will ang nasa amin pong guidelines ngayon ay kung ang inyong pong uutangin ay 50,000 or less, ito po ay payable ng 12 months. Pero dahil po nagbibigay kami ng 6 na buwan na grace period, so ang total po nito ay 18 months. Ang interest po namin ay 0.5% na nakasaad po ito sa batas. So ito po yung IATF Joint Memorandum Circular, ang nakalagay po doon ay 0.5% per month discounted interest. So lumalabas po, but these are just sample computation lang po, no? Ang actual computation po will be given by soon as you're approved for a loan, bibigay po sa inyo yung actual na inyong babayaran at kung magkano po yung net loan proceeds. So in this sample po, ang hiniram ninyo ay 50,000. Siguro po this will be applicable doon sa ating mga enablers na yung gig economy po na pinag-uusapan po kanina ng Lalamove. Ito po yung ating mga riders who fulfill the delivery of goods, no? From a digital seller to the consumer. So ito rin po ay kasama dito. So say for example, you borrowed 50,000, ang ibibigay po namin na net loan proceeds ay 47,000. And after 6 months po, on the 7th month, ang ito po ay tansya lang namin na babayaran ay 4,167 pesos per month. Or lumalabas po around 250 pesos monthly interest rate over the 18 months inclusive of the grace period. Ito po yung total na babayaran. So kung titingnan naman po natin ang 100,000 loan, so kung mangungutang po kayo ng mas mahigit pa sa 50,000, ang makukuha niyo po na net proceeds ay 94,000, pero ito po ay payable naman po ng 24 months. So ang total po ng inyong pagbabayad ay nasa 30 months kasama po yung grace period. So lumalabas po dito after the 6 months, on the 7th month, ang inyong pong babayaran na monthly amortization ay 8,600 monthly. So yun po yung yun po ang ating nakikita. So ano po ang mga tansya namin? Sabi po sa amin nang kami po ay nagtatanong sa mga partner po natin na mga e-commerce platform, ang sinasabi po sa amin is 15,000 to 20,000 daw po ang kailangan to set up an online store. This will include the hardware, net subscription, etc. Although siguro po may mga ilan po na mas mataas dito, pero ito po yung aming siguro pinakamababa na nakita. And for additional capital, dahil po siguro kayo ay manghihiram, kayo po ay mangangailangan ng additional na tao para siguro magmando doon sa website ninyo o mag-take ng orders, you'll probably need around 20 to another to 50,000 additional capital just for salaries, etc. Yun naman pong 12 to 25,000 will be personal. Ito po pala yung personal cost for manning online store and handling orders. Yung 20,000 to 50,000, ito po siguro yung additional inventory ninyo. So these are just rough estimates po while we are going around and asking for suggestions. So ang suma total po, either you take out a 50,000 or a 100,000 loan or more than 100,000 if that is what your requirement is. So ano po ba ang kabuuang programa? Yung programa po ng CARES actually ay pwedeng magpautang sa micro and small. When we say micro po, no, these are enterprises that have an asset size of not more than 3 million. These are micro enterprises. So ang micro enterprises po ay pwedeng mangutang ng hanggang 200,000 pesos. But if you'll notice po on the left side of the screen, habang lumalaki po inyong requirement, dumadami rin po yung documentary requirements. And the same will go to the same will apply to the small enterprises po. No? Yung small enterprises naman po, we define these as enterprises that have capitalization of 3 million, but more than 3 million, but not to exceed 15 million. So if you're borrowing, if you're a small enterprise and you're borrowing 200 to up to 300,000, ito po ang mga documentary requirements sa kalista dito. And more than 300,000 up to 500,000, andi dito rin po ang documentary requirements na nakalista. What we want to impart is that we want to make this easier for our borrowers po. Gusto po namin na mapabilis yung relief that the government is providing. So kailangan lang po namin ma-establish na kayo po ay existing for 1 year. You are 100% Filipino-owned micro or small enterprises. You have been affected by the imposition of ECQ throughout the entire Luzon, or including similar communities po and entire Philippines. And yun nga po, hindi po dapat humigit sa 15 million pesos ngayon ang inyong total asset size. Okay, next slide po ay paano po ninyo kaming makukontak? Sa ngayon po, ang aming application or the loan application form will be uploaded in our website. So please take note of our website. That's www.sbgfc.org.ph. You may also contact us through our phone number. Ito po yung international po, 10651333. Ang aming pong local numbers ay 6327-751-1888 at ito po yung aming P3 hotline. Ito po yung 8651-3333. 3333. Pwede nyo rin po kaming i-email sa p3@sbgfc at sbcorporation@sbgfc.org.ph. Ngayon po, pwede po kayo ring nakikipag-ugnayan din po kami sa DTI through their negosyo centers. So pagka po meron na po yung application form that you can download from our website, you can also go to our regional offices as well as our head office. Kung ito po ay pinapayagan na po, but we have to also advise you that mas maganda po siguro na we keep social distancing until the virus, the COVID-19 has been addressed. No? So pwede po kayong, but yun po, bukas po ang aming opisina para po tanggapin ang inyong application. Ito, may mga regional offices po kami sa Visayas, sa Mindanao, sa Central Luzon, sa Northern Luzon at sa Southern Luzon. Ang aming pong opisina ay nasa Makati. This is, we're at the 17th and 18th floors at the 139 Corporate Center, Valero Street, Salcedo Village, Makati. So kung meron po kayong mga katanungan, we will be happy to answer po ang inyong mga katanungan.
Maraming salamat po, Frank. Ako na po ang unang magtatanong. Marami yung pumapasok na tanong pero simulan na po natin. Binigay niyo po kanina ang listahan ng mga pwede mag-avail ng loan. Paano naman po yung mga negosyo na wala doon sa listahan na yun? Pwede pa ba rin po silang mag-avail?
Ano po? Opo, tama po kayo. Yun lang naman po kasi ang what we're looking at is to enable po yung nakikita naming to help enable the businesses that we think can go digital. But of course, everyone can apply po, no? Lalo na po yung ating mga kababayan na maski na hindi po sila makapag-digital, katulad po ng mga sari-sari store, they can of course definitely apply po for a loan.
Yun. Tama po yun ang sinabi niyo kasi may isa tayong question galing kay Cloyd Velasco. Sabi niya, our traditional business wholesale and retail of instant coffee and juices was affected by the COVID-19 crisis. And we assess it that it's an obsolete model and we need to revisit our business model. Now we decided to transition from retail to agri-farm production. Are we qualified to avail sa P3 program? So sinagot niyo po, pwede sila, no?
Apo, pwede po. But if you'll be requiring po bigger loans, ang maganda po dito sa there's synergy among other government lenders po katulad po ng Land Bank at DBP. Sila po ay tumutulong din po for agricultural loans. So marami po ang nagtutulong-tulong ngayon para po ma-address natin itong problemang dulot ng COVID-19 crisis.
Maganda po 'yon. Gusto po kong ibahagi maganda po yung sinabi ni Sir Frank, no, na SB Corp lang po ang isa lang sa mga government-linked institutions na pwede tayong kumuha ng assistance sa kapital. Kasi pwede natin ipagsama, for example, yung Land Bank, kung agri, tapos siguro DBP pwede rin sumama po, ano? Depende sa negosyo.
Ay, opo.
So may mga opportunity po dyan. Ang isa lang po natin masasabi, siyempre kapag nakautang kayo sa SB Corp, parang seal of ano na rin yan na pinagkakatiwalaan na kayo ng isang institution. So kahit ho yung mga private banks, makakatulong po rin yon kayo umutang sa mga private banks. Kasi pag nakita nila, uy, pinautang yung etong micro industry nito ng SB Corp, at least alam natin na pagkakatiwalaan kayo. At yun yung gusto kong sabihin sa ating mga nanonood ngayon ng Brewers, no? Mahirap po talaga kumuha ng loan. Sinasabi ko na po yan. Ako po, dati po, entrepreneur rin po ako at ang hirap po talaga kumuha ng loan. Ang una ho nating kapital galing talaga sa pamilya at kaibigan. Ang mga private banks hindi ho nagbibigay ng loan sa startups. Yan ho ang katotohanan. Pero pag nadaanan na po natin ang startup method, tapos gusto nating mag-expand, nandyan po ang SB Corp. Yan ho ang ating pinag-uusapan ngayon. So napakaganda ho ng sinabi nyo, Sir Frank. Ito naman po, siyempre may mga sanay na dyan na umutang. Ito galing kay Alvin Arthur C. Ito magandang tanong po. Ano po ang mga hidden charges, hidden fees, adi pang babayarin para makakuha ng loan sa SB Corp? Mukhang sanay itong mag 5-6 no? So maraming hidden charges.
Maraming salamat. Maraming salamat po sa katanungan na yan. Alam niyo po, Sir Joel, no, the good thing about this loan is that this is directly being administered by the SB Corp. Ibig pong sabihin, dahil po sa kagustuhan namin maibaba talaga yung interest rate po nito, no? Yung pong kasi po ang SB Corp we also partner with financial institutions po, no? Sila po yung nagpapautang doon po sa mga hindi namin naaabot na mga lugar. So we are also lending wholesale. So baka po ang experience na to ay pero pag po kami po ang magpapautang, kumbaga, wala po kaming hidden charges dito. Wala na po itong hidden charges. Kumbaga, kung ano po ang inuutang ninyo, we will make sure that dahil nga lang po doon sa provision here that doon sa ating joint memorandum circular, the interest is already discounted. Kasi po nakalagay po doon that it's 0.5 discounted. Kaya po we have to follow that circular. Kaya po ang sabi namin, we'll just charge you or rather we will just ask you to pay the principal after 6 months para po talagang makatulong kami. Pero bukod po doon, wala na pong ibang hidden charges dito. Maraming salamat po doon sa nagtanong. Maraming salamat.
Itong tanong po na to na galing kay Marijoy Doctolero. Siguro pwede niyong sagutin na medyo mas wide kasi ang tanong niya, pwede po bang maka-avail ng loan from DTI ang mga microsellers na hindi registered business pero member po ng cooperative? Baka pwede nyo rin sabihin, Sir Frank, ano ba yung minimum registration requirement para maka-avail ng loan sa SB Corp?
Alam mo, natutuwa po ako dyan sa tanong niyo po, Miss Marijoy. Tama po kayo, no? There are around 5 million po siguro na unregistered enterprises ngayon. And we are cognizant of that. Kinikilala po namin na talagang minsan may mga limitasyon tayo sa pagpaparehistro. Kaya po ang sabi po namin, we actually raised that to our legislators. Yung sabi po namin, baka po pwede tayong bigyan ng additional fund para po masuportahan din natin yung mga unregistered na businesses. And I think they are heeding this. Ito kumbaga pinapakinggan po nila ang panawagan na ito. Pero po dito po sa ating 1 billion po na binigay po ng ng IATF through their Joint Memorandum Circular or JMC, nakasaad po kasi dito na kailangan daw po namin itong ipautang or pahiram sa mga registered business owners sa ngayon. Although we appreciate po your question, no? We really would like, kumbaga, talaga pong gusto talaga namin makatulong. Gustong-gusto po namin matulungan lahat po ng mga namumuhunan po sa bansa. Pero dito po sa programan to, we need po, kahit po yung barangay certification lang po ninyo, that you are a seller po, no? You are a seller or micro seller po sa inyong lugar. Basta po meron po kayong, kumbaga may pagpapakilala po sa inyo bilang isang entrepreneur at you have been operating for more than a year already. So kahit po siguro hindi ito a business permit, pero kasi po when we say barangay certification, parang lumalabas din po na parang permit din po yun, ano. So yun po ang kailangan natin, Miss Mary Joy, na we have to establish that you are an existing business and that yung barangay po ninyo at least nakakaalam po na kayo po ay nagbebenta talaga.
Pwede ko bang isingit at tanungin si Asik Jean? I-plug ko na rin po. Asik Jean, kung pwede ko kayong sumingit mamaya, si Asik Jean po ito ang boss natin ngayon sa ating ginagawang panayam ngayon tungkol sa e-commerce. Alam ko po maraming may movement po ang DTI to have a lot of these unregistered micro enterprises registered, no? So Asik Jean, kung pwede ko kayo sumingit mamaya, bigyan niyo po, o kahit sa ending po, baka pwede niyo bigyan ng konting advice lahat ng mga micro na gusto na talaga mag-register. Kasi alam ko marami tayong mga fast track registration options, diba? So singit na lang po kayo anytime later, Asik Jean. Ito magandang tanong, gaano po katagal ang process ng approval? Galing po to kay Felicitas Antoja.
Thank you for asking. Kanina po gusto ko nang isingit yan yung loan processing time. I was advised po ng aming finance sector head, sila po yung nagproproseso ng mga pautang. The total processing time po for small loans ay 7 working days daw po mula sa receipt of complete loan documents hanggang sa pag-release. So hanggang pong ma-release ang inyong inuutang, mga 7 days po. But if you go higher po, no, habang tumatagal daw po yung inyong habang lumalaki ang inyong requirements, say for example if you're borrowing 500,000, because we will have to review already the audited financial statements, it will probably take us around 2 weeks time po para po may process yung loan application.
So, tungkol na rin po sa pag-a-apply ng loan, maganda po itong tanong ni Kat Ramos. Sir, do we need to go to your office para mag-loan? Maganda pong tactical na sagot yan kasi marami yung hindi makaalis ngayon, di ba? So, kailangan pa ba nila pumunta sa office para mag-loan? Ano ba yung option for e-application? Meron ba po tayo nun?
Ngayon po medyo na talagang naunahan po tayo ng krisis ng COVID po, no. We were in the process of developing our electronic platforms po para makatanggap ng application online. But naghahabol po kami ngayon, minamadali po namin na mai-up po yung aming platform. Sa ngayon po, Ma'am Kat, pwede po kayong mag-email muna sa amin ng inyong intent so that we can queue you in. Flinash po namin kanina sa screen yung amin pong but of course you can also find those details in our website. We are also making some, hopefully maging magkatuluyan po yung ilang aming mga kausap na providers here to help us in the online application. But we will make available, one thing's for sure po, we will make available the application form online through our website. And we are also in partnership with the negosyo centers of the DTI. Pwede po ninyong ipadaan sa kanila ang inyong pong application.
Ito po maganda, tatanungin na natin on air kasi importante po ngayon transparency. Saka pwede pwede nyo na pong sagutin kung fake news to, di ba, Sir Frank?
Opo.
So, galing kay Mark Tan, madaming nagsasabi ang hirap makakuha ng loan sa FB. So, hindi ho to confirmed. So, sinabi lang niya, madaming nagsasabi mahirap makakuha ng loan sa FB. So, pwede nyo na pong i-clarify sa ating audience ngayon, Sir Frank, kung fake news ba yan, di ba?
Hindi ko po masagot yan ng ano po no ng candid. I cannot answer it candidly. But let me just assure you po, ang SB Corp po ay isang government-owned and controlled corporation. Sa makatuwid dahil po dito, we are also stewards of public funds. Kami po ay inaatasan na bantayan din po at ayusin ang pagpapautang. So we make it, kumbaga pinipilit po namin na sana maging tama ang aming pagpapautang dahil ito po ay taxpayers' money. And kung medyo minsan po nagtatagal siguro ang application para sa isang loan, ito po ay sa kadahilanan na we have to really make sure that we are lending appropriately. Hindi po kami basta-basta pwedeng magpautang dahil kung hindi po kami, kumbaga if we have the what do you call this? If we have the discretion to just lend out funds, kumbaga without properly verifying these businesses po, no, hindi po kami maghusay na public servants dahil po baka po kami ay napapalusutan lang o kaya ito ay nagiging sanhi ng korupsyon, hindi po maganda yon. So kung nagtatagal po, humihingi po kami ng paumanhin sa aming pong mga naging kliyente o na magiging kliyente, but we want to make sure that we are doing the right thing. Yun po ang aming nagiging pamantayan ngayon.
Gusto ko pa lang dumagdag for our micro entrepreneurs and normal entrepreneurs. And I say this as a fellow entrepreneur, and ako po, mentor po ng maraming mga negosyante. Una-una po, mahirap talaga kumuha ng loan kung mga papeles natin magulo. So kunwari wala kang registration. Kunwari yung accounting nyo magulo. Diba? Tapos yung lahat ng papers niyo po magulo. Pag magulo ho ang pagpapatakbo ng negosyo natin from a registration point of view or accounting point of view, hindi po kayo makakuha ng loan. Hindi po kasalanan nyo na nagpapautang. Kasalanan po natin yon. So, isa po natin pwedeng gawin habang nakakulong tayo sa mga bahay natin at hindi tayo makagalaw, linisin na po natin ang ating mga papeles. Ayusin na po ang lahat ng registration. Alam ko, hindi tayo makaregister ngayon kasi hindi lahat may register. Pero ayusin nyo na po yung mga papeles nyo para pag pwede nang pag nilist na po ang ECQ, ayusin nyo na lahat ng registration at ayusin na rin nyo po ang accounting nyo habang nasa bahay kayo. Yan po ang kailangan natin gawin kung gusto nyo umutang. Ayusin po natin ang ating mga papeles. Huwag po natin sisihin ng bangko kung ayaw tayong pautangin kung magulo tayo. Remember, you have to prove there's a term you have to be loanable. Diba? Hindi ho ito pamigay. Ito po ay pautang. Pag kayo umuutang, dapat po dapat kayong pautangin. So, ayan lang po para may fairness naman po, no. Hindi ho sa pinahihirapan tayo ng mga bangko, mas lalo na po ang SB Corp, mas malambot pa nga yan kaysa sa ibang mga bangko. Ako po galit ako sa private sector ng mga bangko. Kaibigan po yung mga yan, pero ibang kwento po yan. So mas mabait na po ang SB Corp. Pero kailangan po gawin natin ang part natin sa application form. And as I said, pag nakapasok na po si Asik G, meron lang siyang konting technical difficulties. Bibigyan niya po tayo ng mga tips kung paano i-register ang ating business. Okay. Ito po, para naman sa atin, alam ko marami pong unregistered, pero ulitin na lang po natin yung tanong. Sinabi po may mga 5 million unregistered businesses. Katulad po ng question ni Harrison Dumael, are wet market vendors qualified for this loan program?
Opo, Sir Joel, sabi ko nga po, ang kinakailangan lang natin dito is ang pagpapautang po ay just to put it very simply po, no. Kailangan lang po ay mapatunayan na kayo po ay negosyante. Ito po ay sa pamamagitan ng either barangay clearance or a barangay permit o pagpapakilala po. Kasi po sa mga market vendors, you're paying po yung nagbabayad po kayo ng pwesto po ninyo sa palengke po, no? So meron po kayo ditong mga resibo ng inyong binabayaran buwan-buwan. So ito lang po yung aming pruweba. Ang kailangan po kasi ng isang nagpapautang is number one, ma-establish po na kayo ay totoo. We just have to validate your existence. And pangalawa po ng proseso is that to make sure that somehow kayo po ay makakapagbayad sa amin. So yun lang po ang kailangan namin ma-establish, and kami po ay handang magpautang. Yun po ang aming pamantayan ngayon.
Thank you. May maganda pong, inulit ko lang yan kasi iba baka hindi narinig. Ito maganda pong tanong galing kay Ramir Bonghanoy. Is this loan collateral free?
Ay, salamat po, at hindi ko po nabanggit kanina, wala pong collateral na kailangan para po makapag-access kayo ng loan facility namin.
Yan, palakpakan po natin ng SD Corp, di ba? At ang DTI.
Maraming salamat po.
Kasi alam nyo ngayon, hindi ko talaga makakuha ng loan kung walang collateral. Hindi niyo po alam kung ilan na yung property ko na ginawa kong collateral ever since tinamaan po tayo ng COVID at medyo tinamaan yung cash flow ng ating mga negosyo. So maraming salamat po sa announcement na yan, Sir Frank, tsaka sa DTI. Again, para yes.
Idagdag ko lang, Sir Joel, no, na
yes,
pwede yung loan ninyo to update your amortization. So pwede po kung umutang sa amin. Katulad po ito yung mga rider po natin na naguhulog ng kanilang ng kanilang mga motor para makapasali sa Lala Move, sa QuadX, sa Grab. But nade-delay po sila dahil yung iba po sa kanila hindi nakakapagbiyahe po sa ngayon. Pwede po silang mangutang para po ma-update nila yung loan nila sa mga private banks. So kasama rin po 'yun.
Okay, siguro last two questions. Ang dami po nating question. Gawin po natin, i-ready nyo na lang po, Sir Frank. Gagawin natin, let's answer 2 more questions. And after that po, paki-post nyo uli yung last slide nyo on how to get in touch with SB Corp. Kasi marami pong tanong tuloy-tuloy. Alam niyo naman, nainganyo po yung mga tao sa good news nyo. Sige. So, eto po, pwede, yung mga existing kliyente nyo ba raw po, pwede pa bang umutang uli? Marami yung ganun tanong eh.
Pwede po. Actually, pinag-uusapan po namin yan dahil po mas mababa po yung interest ngayon, no, dahil dito po sa COVID-19. So they will be able to access po. Pwede po sila, mas madali nga po sila makapag-apply dahil mayroon na po silang papeles sa amin. Opo. So pwede po.
So, isa po tungkol sa collateral. Kailangan ba raw ng co-maker, isang guarantor para sa loan? Galing to kay Glenda Esperas.
Ang isa po sa mga naging experience po namin ay doon po sa Marawi, no. Kasi po yung nangungutang po ay more than 60 years old na po yata doon sa time na yon sa Marawi. Ang ni-require po namin ay isang pong co-maker na mas hindi naman po 60 years old o mahigit. So yun lang po ang siguro mga time na nagre-require kami ng co-maker.
Okay. So siguro po paki-flash na lang po uli yung yung slide nyo na paano makipag-contact sa SB Corp kasi marami po tayong mga tanong dito na sigurado ko po mas mabuting idiretso na nila sa inyo. So ipa-flash po ni Sir Frank yung kanyang screen.
Ito po.
Ayan po, kunan nyo na ng screenshot yan. Diba? Kunan nyo na po ng screenshot dyan. Email nyo na po ngayon. Lahat ng tanong nyo, sabi natin, dahil di naman tayo makapunta sa office ng SB Corp, tanongin nyo na po lahat ng, mga questions nila. Tawagan nyo naman po. Active po yung mga numbers na to, itong call center nyo po, no, Sir Frank?
Very active po. Very active po yan. Apo.
So, ganyan po ang gawin natin. Habang hindi pa pwede pumunta sa office ng SB Corp kasi nga ho ECQ tayo at alam naman ho natin hindi tayo makalabas, i-prepare na po natin by getting in touch with SB Corp. Ayusin na po natin ang ating mga papeles at tanungin na natin ng tanungin para the minute na lift ng ECQ, sugod na tayo kagad sa SB Corp office. So, Sir Frank, marami pong salamat. Thank you DTI for DTI and SB Corp for giving this assistance to our MSMEs. So,
maraming salamat po, Sir Joel. Maraming salamat po.
Ito po si Joel Santos ng Thames International Business School. Asik Jean, kung hindi ako kayo makakapasok, thank you po. But gusto po namin paalam na marami pong fast track registration opportunities with DTI. So, Ayan na po, ayan na. Thank you, Ate
Ay,
Gwen.
thank you, Sir Joel, and thank you for the opportunity, and thank you everyone here today, no, for sharing a lot. So ang ganda ng mga questions, ang ganda din ng mga sagot, mabilis din ano. So thank you. Pero ako na ho ang sasagot dun sa isang question ni Sir Joel. Alam po ninyo, lalo na sa mga nandito pong mga sole proprietor, yun hong gustong umpisa ng business, yung mga hindi pa ho nagre-rehistro. Ano po? Napakadali ho. Ang una nyo syempre gawin, kung kayo po ay sole proprietor, kayo po ay pumunta sa DTI, kailangan po ninyong i-register po ang inyong business name. So alam nyo ho, we are very proud at nasabihin sa inyo na kami ho yata ang una sa mga agencies na nagbibigay ng end-to-end registration po ano at si PayMaya I think PayMaya will bear me out on this because dito po sa DTI bukod hindi na po kayo kailangang pumunta sa DTI office. Kahit ho ngayon na tayo po ay naka-COVID at naka-quarantine, punta po kayo sa dnrs.dti.gov.ph at pwede na po kayong mag-register ng inyong business name. At pag sinabi po nating end-to-end, hanggang po sa pagbayad. So kung kami po yata din ang isa sa mga nangunguna, kasi nga po e-commerce, so dapat si DTI nauuna dyan sa online payment, na lahat po ng options ay pwede. So ngayon po, ang nandito ho, pag kayo ay mag-register, hindi na ho kayo kailangan pumunta sa DTI para magbayad o pumunta sa bangko para magbayad. You can do it from the safety of your own homes. Basta meron kayong GCash, meron kayong PayMaya, pwede din ho through our land bank, no? Magpunta ho kayo sa link-based portal. So yun ho yung magandang nangyari ngayon. Ang napakadali lang ho niyan. Ako po mismo, nag-try po ako niyan. 8 minutes. Meron na po kayong business name. Of course, ang susunod po niyan ay magre-rehistro po kayo sa mga MES kung saan po ang inyong business, yung pong mayor's permit. At dyan po, I understand that many also of our local government units are also now getting into online. Pero syempre ngayon ho, pag natin, dahil medyo may mga ibang local government units po din po yata ngayon, ay medyo ang pag-rehistro. But as soon as it's open. But kami po sa DTI, kayo po ngayon kailangan nyo, yan ang unang-una nating step. So, sana makita po namin kayo na nagre-rehistro kayo ng inyong mga business name, kayo po sa mga sole proprietor. So I hope that answers the question of Sir Joel. But I know magpapakain po ang DTI sa lahat po na nakikinig, pa ito sa Facebook. Virtual nga lang po yung lunch. So basta virtual lunch, pwede po kayong mag-lunch. We will break up for lunch from between 12 to 1 and we will come back here for our 1 o'clock session. Today is option day. We are giving everybody the information that you need. At hindi po yung this is accurate information. Wala pong fake news dito kasi mismong yung mga resource persons na po ng mga most popular and the biggest, starting with Google and ang ganda po ng natin ho. We'd like to thank all of the speakers today. Google, PayMaya, Lala Move, and of course our SB Corporation. So Sir Joel, we thank you very much for moderating this session, and bon appetit to everyone, and we hope to see you all back here at 1 o'clock. So thank you for supporting Control Biz Reboot Now. Marami pong salamat.
We can end, Carlo.
natin yan. Kaya natin yan. Kung nais umasenso, manap ng trabaho, o di kaya'y subukang magnegosyo. Lumikha ng produkto't sikaping lumago, inspirasyon mong pagkapiko. Katuwang ng gobyerno sa iyong tagumpay, iisa ang ating hangarin. Pag may abilidad at oportunidad, tiyak na ang lahat ay uunlad. Trabaho, negosyo, kabuhayan, kaya natin yan. Walang iwanan. Go lang ng go mga kaibigan. Trabaho, negosyo, kabuhayan, kaya natin yan. Sulong Pilipinas! Go, 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 kababayan! Kaya natin yan. Kaya natin yan. Kayaw magtipid sa iyong mga pangarap. Sige-sige sa pagsisikap. Asenso'y sigurado sa hinaharap. Manalig lang palagi sa sarili. Trabaho, negosyo, kabuhayan, kaya natin yan. Walang iwanan. Go lang ng go mga kaibigan. Trabaho, negosyo, kabuhayan, kaya natin yan. Sulong Pilipinas! Go, 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 kababayan!